Stage for tonight, let's go down to Drake York.
Thank you so much, Brian. Glad to join you for night number 5 of NOS Energy Drink Indiana Sprint Week presented by Honest Abe Roofing. A much cooler Circle City Raceway greeting us here for when we get going with engine heat and dirt draft hollow. So it's been a hot and humid one. So I can say for the people at the racetrack, we're personally enjoying the weather at the moment. Hopefully these clouds stay friendly above us here in the greater Indianapolis area. But without further ado, let's take a look at your point standings headed into tonight. We'll start off with our season-long AMSOIL USAC National Sprint Car Championship points headed into tonight's round here at Circle City. Kyle Cummins continues to lead the way with 1,759 points. Justin Grant in second, 136 behind. More on Grant later. Mitchell Moles is third. Logan Seavey is fourth. Briggs Danner off his win last night rounds out the top 5. He is 248 points behind Cummins. Robert Ballou 6th. Kevin Thomas Jr. 7th. Jake Swanson 8th. CJ Leary 9th. And Cale Drake rounding out your top 10. Over to your NOS Energy Drink Indiana Sprint Week presented by Honest Abe Roofing points. Briggs Danner off that win last night, as I mentioned, out the Kokomo Speedway with the thrilling last lap pass. Now sits atop the standings with 230 points. Logan Seavey in second. He is behind by 25, but Danner, no stretch of the imagination, though, is in the safe here so far when we come to Circle City. Kevin Thomas Jr. is third. He's had a really good but quiet Indiana Sprint Week to this point. He is 26 points behind. Robert Ballou is fourth. Jake Swanson 63 points behind. Danner rounds out your top 5. Then it's Mitchell Moles, Kyle Cummins, Gunnar Setzer, Chase Stockin, and Hayden Reinbold rounding out your top 10 when it comes to Indiana Sprint Week points. And as we always do here with the USAC on FloRacing broadcast, let's take a look at our Dirt Draft Driver v Driver matchup here at Circle City. We'll start off with Troy Carey. He's on the left-hand side of your screen. Last night's winner in the driver matchup, I'll add as well. He's at USAC Driver 1 in the post-race lobby. He has chosen Briggs Danner, Chase Stockin, Carson Garrett, Harley Burns, and Hunter Maddox. His opposition, your national points leader, Kyle Cummins. He is at USAC Driver 2 in the post-race public lobby. He has chosen Kyle Cummins, Chase Stockin, Ricky Lewis, Matt Goodnight, and Cody Trammell. Let's take a look at a run of the show tonight for the AMSOIL USAC National Sprint Car Championship here on night number 5 of Indiana Sprint Week. Engine heat just firing up here at Circle City. From there, we'll go into our dirt draft hot laps. Honest Abe Roofing qualifying on tap. You heard Brian talk about the 40-plus cars in the pit area here tonight at Circle City. So that means we'll go into our 5 heat race format where we would normally take 5 out of the heat race. We'll take 4 instead tonight. On the schedule currently is a C main, but if a car or 2 are scratches, you can expect to see that C main go off the chopping block. If we do run the C main, top 4 will advance straight from there to the back of the Elliott's Custom Trailers and Kart Semi feature. Top 4 from the semi go to our 30-lap feature event for night number 5 of Indiana Sprint Week. You heard us talk about Justin Grant, currently second in USAC national points. If you go back a few nights ago to the Lawrenceburg Speedway, of course, was involved in that horrifying crash on the front straightaway where he broke his left foot. Last night out at the Kokomo Speedway, he tried to race with that broken left foot. They made some handbrake modifications to that race car, so Justin wouldn't obviously have to put a lot of pressure on that left foot while he was driving. He came out, did dirt draft hot was in the top 10 of that, by the way. P25 in Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. They decided to just take a provisional and start and park in the feature event. And it was still up in the air if Justin Grant wouldn't make it here to Circle City Raceway. Well, the answer is no. Justin Grant not in the house today. He took to Twitter earlier today and said this: first time in around 9 years, I'm going to miss the USAC Nation Sprint Car race tonight. Yesterday took a lot out of me. Hard cast put on today, going to rest up and focus on being ready for the Silver Crown and midget races coming up, which, reminder, he is very much in the title fight for those races. And interesting to note, too, Justin Grant, even with the provisional, carried on his USAC Ironman legacy. So Justin Grant will now hold that record for at least the time being. Over to somebody that is here at Circle City Racing tonight is the madman, Robert Ballou. He's put together a very interesting 7 or so races with the AMSOIL USAC National Sprint Car Championship. Not only has he led at least 1 lap in every single Indiana Sprint Week race thus far, but in actually 6 of the last 7 races, he's been able to lead a lap. And you look at Indiana Sprint Week alone, he really could have walked away with the win every single night so far. Let's take a look at it. Dirt track at Indianapolis Motor Speedway was leading, had that motor start to come par on. He still limped it home to a 3rd place finish. Actually did end up winning at Honest Abe Roofing Lincoln Park Speedway. You go over to Lawrenceburg. He was leading that race, looked to be in total control of that race till he jumped the cushion, smacked the wall. He came back out and actually crashed right at the very end of that race. They had to rebuild for Kokomo. Kokomo, of course, he was leading on the very last lap. Coming into the final set of corners, Briggs Danner able to rail around the high side of the madman. And while he was very disappointed with that result last night, you heard him talk about all the changes they made over the last calendar year or so, and they've definitely helped for the madman. And I think back to his championship season back back in 2015, not only did he pick up the season-long AMSOIL USAC National Sprint Car Championship title, but he also won Indiana Sprint Week and the Eastern Storm titles that year. And I might be a little premature in saying this, but Robert Ballou right now kind of looks like that 2015 Robert Ballou we've been seeing. While he has not won an Indiana Sprint Week race here at the Circle City Raceway, he does have wins in local competition, so he knows how to get it done here in Indianapolis. We'll see what he can do tonight as we're getting ready to go for what is sure to be another exciting night of NOS Energy Drink Indiana Sprint Week presented by Honest Abe Roofing action here inside the Circle City.
Indeed, thank you very much. As cars continue to make their way out, not onto the speedway, but around the speedway. Circle City Raceway, if you've never been to this racetrack, has an access road that goes all the way on the outside of the track. So as they continue finishing up the surface here, they had a little bit of moisture going down. They had the truck rolling around. They'll let the cars come out, get some heat, and head back to the pits. Once we are ready to go, we'll work into dirt draft hot laps. 5 sets of those here for our 44 drivers on hand. Once we get through our hot laps, we'll go into Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. If you haven't made your way through Merchandise Row, now is a great time to do so. Get down there while your size, color, and design is still available. Very limited quantity of Indiana Sprint Week t-shirts are available here tonight. I know they have reordered and should have more in stock tomorrow. At least that is the plan as of late. Several drivers and teams with their t-shirts set up here. Of course, after the races, you can also go down as several teams with t-shirts available down at their trailers as well. Also, while you're making your way up here, make sure to stop by the NOS Energy Sampling Station. Grab a complimentary can of NOS Energy, and make sure to follow them on social media at NOS Energy Drink. Why choose AMSOIL lubricants? Well, 3 reasons: power, performance, and protection. They design specialized lubricants engineered for what you drive and how you drive. Visit AMSOIL.com to learn more. Another reason to stop by the USAC merchandise trailer. You could sign up to beat tonight's AMSOIL Inside the Oval winner. If your name is chosen, you and a guest of your choice will receive a prize pack and a ride in the pace truck and the opportunity of a lifetime to watch tonight's USAC feature event from the infield. Again, go get signed up. They draw for that as soon as the final heat race fires. Throughout the 2025 season, you can be part of the action with a chance to win with Play USAC, offering you, the fans, ways to put money in your favorite drivers with top sports books and daily fantasy providers offering odds and exclusive sign-up offers for USAC racing fans. There's never been a better time to give it a try. Visit nxtbets.com/playyusac for more information, or scan the code here on the broadcast or on the screen on the back straightaway to see what's available in your state. Void where prohibited. Must be 21 years or older to participate. Play responsibly. Fight back against addiction at 1-800-GAMBLER. Reminder, the odds you're going to see are provided to the United States Auto Club by nxtbets.com. They put Kyle Cummins as the odds-on favorite at 158, Logan Seavey to 219, Robert Ballou at 478. A little bit further back, Mitchell Moles at a 2281, Jake Swanson looking at long shot odds at a 65-67. But remember, when our drivers win, you win when you play along at nxtbets.com/playyusac. Racing Electronics has over 30 years of experience and serves every major form of auto racing. Don't forget to bring your scanner the next time you're at a USAC national event, as all of our broadcast audio is available on frequency 454.5000. Learn more and shop today at racingelectronics.com. Cookout presents Always Fresh, never frozen burgers, barbecue, hot dogs, all cooked fresh every day. And get this, over 40 different flavors of shakes, all prepared fresh and made by hand every day. It's all yours. Find a Cookout location near you. Visit cookout.com. Don't forget, there's still time to set your Dirt Draft lineup. Download the Dirt Draft app today, set your league, and play against your friends, family, or anybody in the grandstands. Make sure to use referral code USAC when signing up to get a $20 digital gift card to shop online at usacgear.com. Hoosier Racing Tires' mission is to be the dominant customer-driven provider of racing tires to teams domestically and internationally. Their existence and continued success are dependent upon how well they meet their responsibilities to serve their customers by providing safe quality products to amateur and professional motorsports teams. For more information on the tires designed for champions, go online to HoosierTire.com. CarIQ has created a payment solution aimed at fleets that allows cars and trucks to connect to gas pumps without the need of a fuel card or a credit card. CarIQ Payment Solutions, CarIQ Pay, replaces fleet card products and protects against fraud while significantly reducing back-office vehicle reconciliation. Learn more at GoCarIQ.com today. Indy Metal Finishing is the official sponsor of the USAC work area. Indy Metal Finishing is a family-owned and operated business with 30 years of experience in the industry. Their mission to support their customers with an exceptional level of quality and service. Conveniently located on Minister in downtown Indianapolis, Indy Metal Finishing offers Type 2 and Type 3 anodizing chemical conversions, passivation, and electroless nickel services to motorsports, medical, military, aerospace, and manufacturing industries. Indy Metal Finishing is ISO certified and holds an FFL license. Visit them online at indymetalfinishing.com. Whether you're running a go-kart, a micro, midget, modified, sprint car, late model, silver crown, or even the tractor, Rod Supply has the assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products that will keep you at the front of the field and performing at your maximum potential. Remember, they don't just sell them, they race them. Visit them online at rodsupply.com for more information. K1 Race Gear was born in 2003 with a philosophy of offering products to customers that they would be proud to use. At K1 Race Gear, they are racers and they understand the value of buying quality racing products at a reasonable price. Whether your son or daughter is just starting out in the sport or you have a lifelong passion for racing, they have the product for you. Go online to k1racegear.com for more information. The official fire prevention solution of USAC is Inferno Armor. Created for the motorsports industry and now used in many other applications, Inferno Armor quickly and easily makes fabrics fire retardant and heat resistant. Simply put, it's a high-performance fire protection in a convenient spray. Inferno Armor presents the Fire Move of the Night in all 3 USAC national divisions, where they award the driver that puts on a fire of a show a complimentary bottle of Inferno Armor. Ways to follow along tonight. Of course, you can find live timing and scoring on the Race Monitor app. You can also find us on Facebook by searching for USAC Racing and on X and Instagram at USAC Nation. A reminder, what you see on social media as well as live timing and scoring is unofficial. All official news, notes, points, and updates can be found at usacracing.com. And don't forget, when you can't be there live, you can see it all live with FloRacing, a part of the Flow Sports Network. Not just racing, but, well, a little bit of everything. Are you into hockey? They've got it. Racing? Yep. Rugby? You bet. You can find it all on the Flow Sports Network. Of course, we have Indiana Sprint Week on there tonight. A school bus demo derby at Riverhead is also being broadcast. You have the Southern Music Games of Southwest Virginia. That is actually a marching band competition. Flow Racing 24/7, professional bull riding, and more. You can find it all when you subscribe at Flow Sports. Of course, Parallax Group sponsoring the season-long Passing Master points, also sponsoring a Sprint Week Passing Master, an extra $500 up for grabs for the driver that advances the most position throughout Sprint Week, and that is every time drivers are on track. The season long is every time a driver competes in feature event competition. But looking at your Sprint Week Passing Master points so far, Kel Drake leads at 39 advances. Kevin Thomas Jr. at 26. Kayla Rail up to 24. Briggs Danner at 23. C.J. Leary also at 23. Swanson at 21. Seavey and Setzer and Shipley at 20. And Hayden Reinbold sitting at 19. Again, an extra $500 to the driver that passes the most throughout the entirety of Sprint Week. Pro Source putting up an extra $100 as well. It's the Hard Work Award to the slowest qualifying driver who locks in to tonight's feature event. Honest Abe Roofing qualifying were $200 this week, and it's an extra $200 for every additional fast qualifying time you turn during NOS Energy Drink Indiana Sprint Week presented by Honest Abe Roofing, as well as a $200 for the Rod Supply Hard Charger. So a little bit of extra money to go along with that $50,000 point fund. And again, the champion walking away with $25,000 of that and that one-of-a-kind Bridgeport rocker. Looking down the merchandise row, you have Kevin Thomas Jr., Jake Swanson, C.J. Leary, Logan Seavey, Mitchell Moles, Kyle Cummins, Robert Ballou, Kel Drake, Briggs Danner, Kayla Rail t-shirts available down there as well. KO Motorsports, Carson Garrett, Ricky Lewis. And the list goes on. Again, make sure and swing down and get your favorite driver's t-shirt while your size, color, and design is still available. Looking ahead to the schedule for the United States Auto Club, tomorrow we head down to the Terre Haute Action Track, Bloomington Speedway on Friday, the Class Track Tri-State on Saturday. Next event on the card after that, the USAC Silver Crown Champ Car Series, going to be on track at Salem Speedway on August 9th. Indiana State Fairgrounds, the Dirt Mile on August 16th. The Elliott's Custom Trailers of Kart Sprint Car Smackdown, 3 nights of racing on August 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. Back to Bloomington, then Du Quoin on the 28th to 29th. That Bloomington show, that is a rescheduled event from earlier this year. Then the second round of Dirt Mile competition at Du Quoin on the 30th. Of course, you can see the entire schedule for USAC Racing. I'm going to go online to usacracing.com. Of course, you missed last night's racing action at Kokomo. You missed a wild one. Briggs Danner with a clean sweep last night in the last lap pass to get the job done over Robert Ballou. Chase Stockton ended up third last night. Mitchell Moles crossed him fourth. Cal Cummins was fifth. Kevin Thomas Jr. was sixth. C.J. Leary was seventh. Logan Seavey in eighth. Gunnar Setzer in ninth. And Cale Coons ended up rounding out the top 10 last night at Kokomo. Of course, you can see the full race replay when you go online to FloRacing.com. So the horn has sounded down to the pit area for drivers to begin making their way into the staging lanes for Hot Laps. Dirt Draft Hot Laps session number 1 of 5. Going to be coming up here in just a little bit. Again, 44 drivers on hand for night number 5 of NOS Energy Drink Indiana Sprint Week presented by Honest Abe Roofing. We'll have drivers in this first flight of Hot Laps roll the track for just a little bit before we set them loose. Modifieds also on the card tonight as we await cars to make their way out to the speedway. Let's check in with Drake.
Thank you so much, Brian. Yeah, a little bit of concern over in the Braden Cromwell pit of the 4X machine. We showed you that shot as he came off the racetrack, and the team was frantically trying to figure out what exactly happened to that race car. It looked like a very small mag box issue on the 4X, so the team's been addressing it. Good news for Braden as that he is in the very last group of Dirt Draft Hot Laps, so they do have time to assess this issue and properly fix it. And worth noting, too, Braden Cromwell, one of his better runs of the 2025 season last night at the Kokomo Speedway, and we had highlighted him and his wife, Rachel, who, of course, owned that race car, that it was just a two-man band down in Pennsylvania. Well, this week they have picked up quite a substantial amount of crew members. There's about 3 or 4 different crew members over there this week on the 4X, including a crew member who has experience with Clausen Marshall Racing and is currently working at Ed Carpenter Racing on the IndyCar side of things, too. So a bunch of different people coming in, making that small team go around here. Of course, we know it's a tough go no matter how you do it here during Indiana Sprint Week. So a lot more help than he had out on the road in PA and New Jersey, that's for sure, Brian.
Again, 44 drivers on hand for the USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship. 18 of your Vern's Concrete Modifieds on hand. It's like Modified setting up into a pair of heat races a little bit later on. Everybody going on into the feature event. So cars will be rolling out to the track here in just a little bit. Here on the FloRacing broadcast, we're going to step away for just a minute We'll be back to Circle City. Welcome back to the broadcast here on FloRacing. Cars beginning to make their way out to the Speedway for Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 1. First driver out to the clays at Greenfield, Indiana, driving the Unified Group Services, Claxon DRC, Gray Auto, hair trends by Jody, number 96. That'll be Rylan Gray. Rylan Gray rolling here down the front straightway. Nate Shank next onto the Speedway out of Santa Rosa, California, the Joe Hunt Magnetos, Lawson Rock and Oil, Air Technology West, Sonoma Paint Center, number 1. The Epperson Painting, number 2E, Carson Garrett of Littleton, Colorado, Sherwin Williams, BGE Motorsports, and a Speedway Racing engine beneath the bonnet of the number 2E as he makes his way around to the front straightway. We're continuing on the 4X of Braden Cromwell, as Drake had reported on just a minute ago. That car is fired now, rolls on its own back into the pit area. James Turnbull out to the Speedway out of Indio, California, driven the Brazos AC and Heating, Van Dyne DRC chassis. James Yost Tile, number 2J, he rolls down the front straightway. And out to the racetrack as well, you'll find Ricky Lewis out of Oxnard, California, driving the Superior Tank and Trailer, Stensland Powered DRC, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Morris Farms, number 41. Cody Trammell out to the Speedway. Driver to Bloomington, Indiana. Driver the Ace Corporation. Whitman Roofing, M&R Powered DRC chassis. Number 34T. 3R out to the Speedway. That is Kevin Thomas Jr. to Coleman, Alabama. The Inferno Armor, Majestic Electric, Factory Kane, Lucas Oil Center, Rocksteady Racing, number 3. So again, letting drivers here in Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 1 roll just a little bit before we get everybody at speed here in Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 1. Logan Calderwood set to be in this Hot Lap session, just bypassed the entrance to the racetrack of the back straightway. So we'll see if he makes his around and maybe way around and maybe rolls in over here in turn number 4.
Another driver stopping here, Brian. That's the 41 of Ricky Lewis. Looks like USAC officials just going to do a quick receiver swap. This is actually pretty common in the drivers meeting every single USAC National Sprint Car race. They're instructed, hey, if you have a safety issue, just stop on the bottom side of turn number 4. Whatever it is, we'll get it taken care of. So they're going to swap out the radio there, and Ricky Lewis should be good to go here in just a few moments, Brian.
Well, another point to that, Drake, while I have you on here, is there are tracks where we have to change our receiver frequency because we end up having some interference, and that was the case where had to tell everybody, the drivers meeting, hey, it is the default frequency. It is our normal frequency here tonight, and sometimes drivers not able to hear that, and the officials having to help them out a little bit.
And I think part of that too, Brian, you might be able to elaborate on this a little bit better than I can, but I would think actually being closer to a major city like Indianapolis, there's a lot more things going on in the airspace too. You even think about the airport that's not too far away from here. That could have a factor in it as well. So they're still working on Ricky Lewis's race. Even they give him the thumbs up, and they're going to fire the 41.
Not only that, even in setting up our wireless microphone systems and everything else, we have to take all that into consideration and make sure and do a couple of different scans just to make sure we don't have a conflicting frequency. So they'll get the 41 taken care of. Ricky going to go ahead and refire and join here in Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 1. So driver's able to go around and jackrabbit the racetrack just a little bit here. We'll let them roll a little bit more, get the track worked in, then we'll set them loose for about a trio of laps here in Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 1. Caution lights effect, go dark. We're set to go to green here in Hot Laps. So Kevin Thomas Jr. quickest on track right now at a 12:695. James Turnbull at a 12:879. Rylan Gray at a 12:962. Ricky Lewis at a 13:039. And Carson Garrett 13.152 seconds. Your 5 quickest drivers on track for Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 1. Rizzy going to lay some stripes on the wall here. And we'll get ready to go in Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 2. First driver out to the racetrack, rolling off into turn number 3 is going to be Cale Drake at Collinsville, Oklahoma, the Duke of Curls of the Pendleton Farms, Bennick Enterprises, Claxon DRC, Hoosier Tire, John and Cheryl Long, number 2B. He'll make his way around to the front straightaway. Again, letting drivers roll the access road up and around the racetrack, and then entering onto the back straightaway. So Drake rolling into turns 3 and 4. Driver directly ahead of him is going to be C.J. Leary to Greenfield, Indiana. Driver the Curb Records, Kodiak Products, One-Way DRC Chassis, Apache Transport, Team Arizona, Quebec and Racing, number 21. Having to go back and check out a couple of things before making his way back out to the racetrack at Goodyear, Arizona. Driver the MP Environmental One-Way Triple X Chassis, JFM Sure Can, Chuck D's Wieners, number 6. That is Logan Calderwood. Logan Calderwood in at the number 6. Driver behind him is Eli Wilhelmus out of Newburgh, Indiana. Driver the Jerry Eigner Construction, Traders Brewing Company. RLH Associates, Larry's Automotive, England Machine and Tool, number 55. He'll make his way onto the back straightaway. Rolling onto the racetrack now, Kobe Simpson out of Bonham, Texas, over the B-Town Automotive Canada DRC chassis, number 21K. Speaking of Chuck, here he comes. Charles Davis Jr. to Buckeye, Arizona, drove the MP Environmental Black Magic Bead Breaker Spider Crane Indy Race Parts, Chuck D's Winners Central Arizona Speedway, number 47. Back into the primary car here tonight out of Sutter, California, drove the Mountain Mechanical Contractors, Drop Light, Indy Power Sports, Carrington Homes, Ford Check Marketing, Abacus Racing, number 57. That is Logan Seavey. Logan Seavey in the number 57. 23S rolling on the back straightaway. Max Adams out of Loomis, California. The Simon Racing, Heitmeyer Concrete, Claxon DRC chassis number 23. And rolling through turns 3 and 4, that's Todd Hobson out of Clyde, Victoria, Australia. Driver the Easy Print, Innovative Slots, Run and Supply, Willwood, JST Shock Technologies, Wingo Brothers Racing number 77. So it looks like everybody on track here for Dirt Draft Hot Lap session at number 2. The caution lights go dark. The green lights come on. Here we go. New driver atop of the boards, Kobe Simpson at a 12.169. C.J. Leary second quick at a 12.186. Logan Calderwood up to third quick at a 12.577. Eli Wilhelmus at a 12.516. And Charles Davis Jr. goes to fifth quick at a 12.628. Cal Drake, Kevin Thomas Jr., Logan Seavey, Max Adams, Harley Burns right now make up the top 10 quickest drivers. Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 3 will begin to make its way out to the Speedway. Austin Nye on the Access Road at Greenfield, Indiana. Driver the Austin Nye Racing, AJ Felker, DRC, Cruiseman Driving School number 97. Austin wanting to wish a happy birthday to his niece, Juliana. Happy birthday to you from Austin Nye, everybody with the 97 team. Driver absent last night up at Kokomo. He's set to go here tonight at Snohomish, Washington, driving the Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, Pit Logic, FT3 Power, DRC, Race Redeem Foundation, number 83C. This is Chance Crum. Chance Crum in the 83. The 87 is Tony Helton, the Ace Corporation, AJ Felker Power, DRC, number 87, making his way around to the front straightaway. The 19AZ out to the Speedway. Mitchell Moles out of Raisin City, California. The AME Electrical, Pacific Transportation, Stanton Spike, number 19. And the 77S also out to the racetrack over in turn number 3. Trey McGranahan out of Avon, Indiana. The Matchbox Meats, Engine Ice High Performance Lubricants. Freeland Power DRC chassis number 77. 28 onto the back straightaway. That is Brandon Maddox out of Terre Haute, Indiana. The Maddox Heating and Cooling. Pro Source, Newman Motorsports, Hill Construction number 28. Kayla Rail out of Dillsboro, Indiana. The Southern Insurance, Heavy Duty Truck and Transmission Services. Farm Chevy Built, Spike number 4K. Going to make her way around to the front straightaway. And the next driver out to the racetrack, Victory Lane, last night up at Kokomo. Driver the East Schneider & Sons Recycling, Oshucks Roasted Corn, Rider DRC number 39. That is Briggs Danner. Briggs Danner in the number 39. He's run a combination of cars during Indiana Sprint Week so far. Back behind the wheel, the Jeff Bolsonaro, number 34. We're talking about Shane Cottle out of Kansas, Illinois. The SRI Indy, Sons of the American Legion, Indy Race Parts, Rider Spike Chassis, number 34. So again, if you're just joining us in the grandstands or on the broadcast, Dirt Draft Hot Lap Session number 3 of 5 out to the Speedway. Hot Lap Session number 1, Kevin Thomas Jr. was the quickest driver. Hot Lap Session number 2, and now the overall quickest driver is Kobe Simpson, a 12:169 for Simpson. Kevin Thomas was a 12:695. The track continuing to pick up pace here as we work through hot laps. We're underway in Dirt Draft Hot Lap Session number 3. Mitchell Moles now quickest at a 12:130, 12:130 for Mitchell Moles. Colby Simpson now second quick at a 12:169. C.J. Leary 12:186. Brandon Maddox at 12:279, and Austin Nye up to fifth quick at a 12:298. Getting Briggs Danner cleared from the exit of the Speedway. The field will begin to make its way back to the pit area. We will bring Dirt Draft Hot Lap Session number 4 out to the Speedway here in just a moment. Round 4, Dirt Draft Hot Laps. I'm going to make its way out to the racing surface. First driver out to the clays out of Rockland, California. Driver of the Suburban Subaru, Dean's Waterfront Services, Berks Western Telecom, Don Up Power number 12. It's the Madman, Robert Ballou. Robert Ballou in the 12, making his way out to the racing surface. Driver next out to the Speedways out of Fort Branch, Indiana. Driver of the Brown Brothers Excavating, Daywig Meats, Lucas Oil Center, Kistler DRC, Moose Racing number 92. That is Chase Stockin. Chase Stockin in at the 92. Trey Osborne out of Columbus, Ohio, driving the Industrial Hydraulics Incorporated, Jetfield Trailer Sales. Larry Ebert, number 6T, going to make his way over into turns 3 and 4. And the 19, that's Hayden Reinbold of Gilbert, Arizona, the AME Electrical, Levante Windows and Doors, Stanton Spike, Reinbold, Underwood Motorsports, number 19. 9Z working down the back access road now. That is Zach Pretorius out of Yorktown, Indiana, driving the Yoke Motors Pizza King, Hoosier Roots Klaxon DRC Chassis, number 9Z. Driver making his Sprint Week debut last night up at Kokomo, set to take on the Circle City Raceway. Coming up out of the micro ranks, Cole Kirkman out of Kokomo, Indiana, going to make his way out to the Speedway. Driving the Misfits Towing and Recovery, Griffith Powered, EMI, J&D Excavating, Cynthia Harmon, Attorney at Law, number 81. And driver down the access road, rolling to the outside of turns 1 and 2 at Columbus, Indiana. Driver the Midwest 2 Mills, Davis Brothers, SNC Machines, Stanton Powered, Flea RC number 5G. That is Gunnar Setzer. Gunnar Setzer in the 5. The 5T also working down the access road out of Anaheim, California. The Inland Rigging, Snake Enterprises, One Way DRC, Doughboys LLC, Dirt Roots Digital number 5T. That is Jake Swanson. Jake Swanson in the 5T. And the 93 AU, Travis Milla out of Victoria, Australia, driver the GT HVAC and Electrical, Milla Power, DRC Chassis, Advanced Living Solutions, Upright Enterprises, DNF Racing Products, number 93 AU. Going to begin to make his way around the Speedway. He will enter onto the back straightaway. So again, in each group so far, Kevin Thomas Jr. was fastest in Group 1. Kobe Simpson fastest in Group 2. Mitchell Moles, Group 3, fastest overall right now, 12:130. The official track record held by Mitchell Moles, established in September 2022, 11.819 seconds, 76.149 average miles per hour. Trey Osborne, 1 Sprint Week feature start so far this go round. It was an 8th at the dirt track at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Engine getting up there on laps, so running to kind of be careful of where he goes and how hard he pushes things as we get ready to go to green in Dirt Draft Hot Lap Session number 4. Chase Stockin up to the top of the charts at a 12.030. 12030 seconds for Chase Stockin. Moles at 12.130. Robert Ballou at 12.136. Kobe Simpson at 12.169. And Hayden Reinbold, fifth quick at a 12.181. Leary, Setzer, Brandon Maddox, Austin Nye, and Trey Osborne, your top 10. Difference among them, 0.322 seconds. Final flight of Dirt Drive Hot Laps will begin to make its way out to the racing surface. Driver rolling on the access road, Matt Goodnight out of Winchester, Indiana. The Lumber and Things, Pallid Builders, Claxon DRC chassis number 39G, about to make his way out to the racing surface. Jim Tribby out to the Speedway at Martinsville, Indiana, driving the JTR trainer-powered DRC chassis number 9. Michael Clark out to the Speedway out of Brazil, Indiana, the Freedom Roofing and Dave Pepperak-powered Spike chassis number 8, making his way around to the front straightaway. The 10G out to the Speedway. Gabriel Gilbert. He's out of Greenwood, Indiana, driving the DRC Chevrolet Power number 10G. Makes his way around to the front straightaway. Your current USAC National Championship points leader out of Princeton, Indiana, driving the Avante Windows and Doors Premier Recycling Apache Transport. Petty Performance number 3P, that is Kyle Cummins. Kyle Cummins in the 3. The 24M, Hunter Maddox out of Bedford, Indiana, driving the Megacorp Logistics, Midwest Septic Services, Auto Credit, Buy Here, Pay Here, number 24M, making his way down the front straightaway. Troy Carey out to the Speedway over in turns 3 and 4 out of Tullamore, New South Wales, Australia, driving the Davis Brothers, Yoss Valley Waste Services, Claxton Ripper chassis number 45N. The 0G also out on the Speedway, Kyle Shipley, driving the Central Security and Communications, Fritchie's Lawn Care and Landscaping, Ben's Asphalt, Apache Transport, Old Town Design Group, 0G. And the good news down at the USAC merchandise trailer, they are restocked and ready to go, so make sure and get down there before all the sizes are gone again. Again, we are restocked with Sprint Week t-shirts down at the USAC merchandise trailer. Continuing with drivers on the Speedway, Braden Cromwell, let alone Jack Missouri, the Wholesale Battery, Level Up KC Chevrolet DRC, Show Me Synthetics, Rick Horton Racing, Rachel Cromwell owned number 4X. Caution lights are dark, set to go to green here in your final flight of Dirt Draft Hot Laps. One upside down and over the wall. No, on the wall, actually. Goodnight in the 39 coming to a stop on top of the wall over in turn number 2. Goodnight taking it in, getting it on the bike, and upside down, nearly cleared the concrete, but the car instead hooking onto the wall, riding for just a little bit and then coming to a rest. He's already flung the steering wheel out. Crews on scene to assist him on escaping out of the top of that number 39. As he is out of the car, and they'll work on getting the car back upright on the opposite side of the wall. A little bit of a precarious position here. So once they get the 39 cleared from the outside of the racetrack, drivers on track will get another lap or so here to finish up Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Honest Abe Roofing qualifying going to be coming up after this. So crews work on clearing the scene. Let's check in with Drake York.
Well, Matt Goodnight able to hop up out of that 39 as it went over the wall here in turn number 2. Matt's still with his helmet on. He's just now taking it off. What happened from your vantage point?
Just got in on the cushion and got tight and made a mistake.
All right, we'll hope to see him back later here in just a moment for Honest Abe Roofing qualifying as they tow that car back to the pits.
So also clearing the number 8 at Clark from the racing surface, an issue on that machine. So we'll go back into yellow flag conditions, and again, driver's going to get another lap or so here in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Again, we'll also have the Vern's Concrete Modifieds on the speedway tonight, a pair of heat races for those drivers, 18 in total checked in. They'll have their hot lap and qualifying sessions that will establish their heat race lineups. That'll be coming up as soon as we wrap up Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. So the 39 will leave on the hook, and we'll get things rolling here once again as we await safety and push vehicles to clear the racing surface. Chase Stockton continues to be the quickest driver on track here in Dirt Draft Hot Laps, a 12:030 for the driver of the Moose Racing number 92. Moles, Ballou, Simpson, and Reinbold currently make up the top 5. A little bit of smoke in the 24M as he was under idle. As he gets on the throttle, looks like it will clean out. And again, drivers getting another lap owed to them here in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. So Chase Stockton will remain the quickest driver in Dirt Draft Hot Laps, 12:030. Honest Abe Roofing qualifying next on the program. Again, this week, $200 up for grabs to be your Honest Abe Roofing quick qualifier, an extra $200 for every additional quick qualifying effort. Honest Abe Roofing, America's reliable roofer, will present the Fast Qualifying Award in all 3 USAC national divisions throughout the 2025 season. Honest Abe has been installing, repairing, and maintaining residential roofs since 2005, and they want to give you the perfect roof to protect you home and keep you comfortable. Honest Abe provides the fastest service in the roofing industry, and they're supporting the fastest driver in qualifications. Visit honestaberoofing.com today to schedule your free roof inspection. 2 laps on the clock, your quickest lap time counting towards your qualifying effort. The official 1-lap track record established September 16, 2022. 11.819 seconds by Mitchell Moles. And the driver that's going to kick things off here in Honest Abe Roofing qualifying comes to you out of Santa Rosa, California. Driver the Joe Hunt Magnetos, FT3 Racing Engine, DRC Chassis, Sonoma Paint Center, Air Technology West, Lawson Rocket Oil number 1. This is Nate Shank. Nate Shank in the number 1. 1 lap to warm up, and now on the clock here. Trying to compete last night up at Kokomo. Unfortunately, an engine problem arising during his qualifying run. Came around for a second lap and shut her down. Had to scratch from competition last night. Swapped the engine, the fuel pump, just about everything in between to be ready to go here tonight. Lap number 1, a 12.704. Second time around for the number 1 is going to be better at 12.502. Nate Shank will set the mark here in Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. Rylan Gray back on the track. His second attempt here in Indiana Sprint Week competition was on track with us at the dirt track of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway with a 14th place finish behind the wheel of the Unified Group Services. Claxon DRC, Gray Auto, hair trimmed by Jody, Indy Bed Bug, and Pest number 96. On the clock, the driver, the number 96, going to roll to the back straightaway. 2 A-feature starts on the season in USAC National Sprint Car Competition. Gray going to bring it around here on lap number 1, and he will turn a 13.348. Quick time for Rylan Gray right now. The Slinker Motorsports entry, a little bit tight in the middle of turn number 3. Brings it back underneath him over at the exit of turn number 4. Lap number 2 going to be slower, 12.454. Rylan Gray is opening lap at 12.348. Now you're Honest Abe Roofing quick qualifier. Next driver on the speedway, a little bit of a bobble through the cushion there through turn number 2 in his warm-up lap at Avenio, California. Driver the Barajas AC and Heating, Van Dyne DRC, RS Drywall, CMR Construction, Felix Plumbing number 2J. This is James Turnbull the second. James Turnbull and the number 2J. 13th last night in the Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts semi-feature event. A little bit of problems getting the car running earlier in the night. He'll come around here on his opening lap, and he'll turn a 12.626, 12626 seconds for James Turnbull as he works onto the back straightaway. Still trying to make an A-feature here in Indiana Sprint Week competition. He will come around lap number 2. Better, quick time at a 12.295, 12295 seconds for James Turnbull. The 34T out to the speedway now. The driver out of Bloomington, Indiana. Driver of the Ace Corporation, M&R Racing Engine, DRC Whitman Roofing, Van Horn Racing Graphics, number 34T. This is Cody Trammell. Cody Trammell in the number 34T. Third appearance in Sprint Week here in 2025. Semi-feature run at the Lincoln Park Speedway last night. 5th in the Hoosier Tire C-feature event. Comes around on his opening lap. Trammell going to stop the clock forthwith at a 12.810, 12.810 for Cody Trammell. Works onto the back straightaway, gets the RPMs up, and brings her off into turns 3 and 4. He will grab the top of the racetrack around to the front straightaway. And lap number 2 for Trammell will be slower, 12.864, 12.810 his opening lap. He is 4th out of 4 right now. Kevin Thomas Jr. out to the speedway out of Coleman, Alabama, driving the Inferno Armor, Majestic Electric, Stanton Mach 1 Chassis, Eddie Gilstrap Motors, Lucas Oil Center, Rock City Racing at number 3. 3 wins on the season. Local event at Kokomo back in April. Winner at Knoxville Raceway during the Corn Belt Clash, and then went back to victory lane at the Williams Grove Speedway in June. A 3-time Sprint Week starter here at Circle City. Ran second 1 year ago. A 15th and a 19th place finish to go along with that. Driver of the 3R going quick time on lap number 1. A 12.199. 12.199 seconds for Kevin Thomas Jr. Jumps to the top of the charts here in Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. Rolls the high side off of turn number 4. KTJ, lap number 2 will be slower, 12.295. But lap number 1 is now your Honest Abe Roofing quick qualifying time at a 12.199. Ricky Lewis on track out of Oxnard, California. Driver of the Physical Medicine Consultants. Superior Tank and Trailer. Messia Valley Transportation, Sinsland, DRC, Morris Farms, Haley Motorsports, number 41. Picked up a Midwest 410 Sprint Car victory earlier this season here at Circle City. 7 wins with the USAC CRA Series presented by Avante Windows and Doors. 13 overall wins on the season. The combined competition outside of USAC national events comes around with a 12.386, 12386 seconds. Fourth quick on lap number 1 for Ricky Lewis. Big time bobble into the cushion that time through turns 3 and 4. Comes around lap number 2, will be slower, 12.555 for Ricky Lewis. He'll stand on his opening lap at a 12.386. Currently puts him in 4th. Next driver out to the speedways out of Littleton, Colorado. Driver of the Epson Painting Incorporated, Sherwin Williams, BG Motorsports, Hornbeck Concrete, FK. Speedway Power, DRC number 2E. This is Carson Garrett. Carson Garrett in the number 2E. Picked up his first career USAC national victory on July 5th up at Lincoln Park Speedway during the Sprintacular. A 2-time Sprint Week starter here at Circle City. Ran 9th 1 year ago. Comes around, lap number 1, third quick at a 12.324, 12324 seconds for Carson Garrett. 13th in the semi-feature event at the dirt track of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Start off Indiana Sprint Week. 14th last night at Kokomo. Comes around quick time. Lap number 2 at a 12.087. 1:20.87 seconds. Carson Garrett, now your Honest Abe Roofing quick qualifier. Back to the primary car here at a Goodyear, Arizona. Driver the MP Environmental Woodland Auto Display. JST Shock Technologies, JFM Surecan, Chuck D's Wieners, Rex's Tattoo and Massage Parlor number 6. This is Logan Calderwood. Logan Calderwood in the number 6. Up into the fluff of the exit of turn number 2 as he works onto the back straightaway. As he is on the clock here, going to make his way around on lap at number 1 to the wave of the white flag. We'll see where Calderwood stops the clock. It will be a 13.203, 1:32.03 seconds, 11th. In the semi-feature event here 1 year ago. Going to sail it off into turns 3 and 4. Last night finished 22nd up at Kokomo. And much improved on second time by. Goes to third quick at a 12.204. 12.204 for Logan Calderwood. Out to the speedway now at Brazil, Indiana. Driver the Britt Arrow, Timberland Lumber Company, JC Kiefer Racing, Youngblood Farms, Ace Corporation, D&J Power, DRC Chassis number 16. This is Harley Burns. Harley Burns, the number 16. 3-time winner on the season outside of USAC competition, twice at Paragon, and a win back here on May 30th with the Midwest 410 Thunder Series. A one-time Sprint Week starter here. Last year ran 22nd. Comes around on his opening lap, and he is 9th quick at a 12.936, 1:29.36 seconds for Harley Burns. Second time by in the Britt Arrow number 16, and he'll improve to 6th at a 12.356. Out of Collinsville, Oklahoma, the Pendleton Farms, Claxon DRC, Bennick Enterprises, Honest Abe Roofing, John and Cheryl Long. Number 2B, look out into the wall. Cale Drake. Through the cushion and into the concrete over in turn number 3. Rough way to start the night here for the driver of the number 2B as they will call the hook over to get that car scooped off of the racetrack. 27 feature starts on the season with 5 top 5s and 17 top 10 finishes. The crew going to have a lot of work to do to get that car back on the speedway. Rolled in, biked her up. And the good news, he did not go upside down. The bad news, he found the concrete in a big way. They'll slow the frame rate down here as he gets it up onto the cushion. You see the left side come up. We'll get a look at the oil pan on that thing. And a hard landing. And again, good thing he didn't go upside down and also did not dig the front end in. We saw that in a violent crash yesterday as we'll take it down trackside.
Cale Drake just hopping up out of the very, very mangled 2B machine. Cale, what happened down here in turns 3 and 4?
Yeah, I'm not sure. We were really good in hot laps and able to hustle it pretty hard, and just got a good run there going into 1 or 3, and I don't know, it biked and went, and there's no saving it. So we'll see if we can get it back together.
All right, we'll let Cale and the 2B Racing gang get back to work. But, Brian, there is all sorts of damage on the rear end of this race car. The torsion bar is out from where it's supposed to be in that torsion bar tube, and the shock radius rod torsion arm, pretty much everything on the right rear got slammed forward as that rear end got packed with mud. So it's going to be a tall effort for them to make it out, but we'll see. We've seen crazier things happen in Honest Abe Roofing qualifying for sure.
Unfortunately, it destroyed the suspension front and rear, so they're having to get the hook to the center of it and hoist the entire car up off of the racetrack, so it'll take just a little bit of time to get that car cleared. Carson Garrett, the driver they're all chasing right now, with a 12.087. Kevin Thomas Jr. at 12.199 is second quick. Logan Calderwood at 12.204. James Turnbull at 12.295. And Rylan Gray is fifth quick right now with a 12.348. Harley Burns, Ricky Lewis, Nate Shank, Cody Trammell, and Cale Drake was the 10th driver out to qualify. Unfortunately, we see that ending tragically over in turns 3 and 4. The good news, Cale is okay. So they'll get that one back to the pits, and Scott Bennett going to go to work to see if they can continue on and repair that car or if the spare has to make an appearance here tonight. So things just about cleared and just about ready to get back underway here in Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. If you're just joining us on the FloRacing broadcast or joining us here in the grandstands, welcome. Also, if you didn't hear earlier, we are restocked on Indiana Sprint Week t-shirts down at the USAC merchandise trailer. Make sure and stop by and get yours while your size, color, and design is still available. So the track is clear. The car's beginning to refire here. The next one out to the speedway comes here to Loomis, California. Driver the Simon Racing, Heitmeyer Concrete, Claxon DRC, number 23S. This is Max Adams. Max Adams out of Loomis, California, on track in the number 23. 2 starts so far during Indiana Sprint Week competition. A 10th at the dirt track of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Joined us up at the Lawrenceburg Speedway with a 23rd place finish. Adams going to roll onto the back straightaway through his warm-up lap and on the clock here for the driver of the number 23S. Going to come around here on lap number 1, and he will stop the clock 10th quick at a 13.029, 130.29 seconds for the driver of the number 23. Rolls her off into turns 3 and 4 as the sun begins to peek out from behind the clouds here. Lap number 2 for the Simon Racing number 23. Better 8th quick at a 12.490, 12.490 for Max Adams. The 21AZ rolling out to the speedway now. The drivers out of Greenfield, Indiana in the Curb Records, Curb Agajanian, Team Arizona, Apache Transport, Oakcraft Elegant Cabinetry, Kodiak Products, DRC, One-Way Technologies, number 21. This is CJ Leary. CJ Leary into the 21AZ. A 3-time feature starter here in Sprint Week competition. Went to victory lane back in 2022, a 9th and a 26th since then. Comes around lap number 1, second quick at a 12.139, 12.139 for CJ Leary as he works onto the back straightaway. Picking up a Silver Crown win here at the start of Sprint Week. Actually kicked things off before we went to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That was back at the Indianapolis Raceway Park as his second time by as a 12.212. He'll stand on his opening lap at a 12.139. That's CJ Leary, currently second quick. Kobe Simpson onto the speedway out of Bonham, Texas. Driver the B-Town Automotive, Circle C Adventures, Candidate DRC, tops up here by Quality Threads. Kevin Simpson owns Scorpion Raceway number 21K. Works through his warm-up lap. 1 year ago was 8th in your Elliott's Custom Trailers Card semi-feature event here at Circle City. Last night, 9th in the semi-feature event and 8th in the semi at Lawrenceburg. And a 5th in the semi at Honest Abe Roofing Lincoln Park Speedway C-feature competition during on-track action at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Goes 12th quick on his opening lap at a 12.859. Second time around for the number 21. 11th quick at a 12.782. Better on time. Picks up 1. 12.782 for Kobe Simpson. Out to the speedway now at Buckeye, Arizona. The MP Environmental, Black Magic Bead Breaker, Stanton DRC Chassis, FK Indy, AME Electrical, Chuck D's Wiener, Central Arizona Speedway number 47. This is Charles Davis Jr. Charles Davis in the number 47. 1 Sprint Week start here back in 2023. Ran 21st in the feature event last year. Ended up 11th in your Hoosier Tire C feature. 18th place run last night at Kokomo. Goes 9th quick on his opening lap at a 12.482. 1.2482 seconds for Charles Davis Jr., the 2018 USAC Southwest Sprint Car Series champion. Going to work around here on lap number 2. Davis, second time by, going to be slower. 12.804, a 12.482 in his opening lap. 9th quick for Charles Davis Jr. Driver out to the speedway now is out of Sutter, California. Winner here 1 year ago on the Mountain Mechanical Contractor, Stanton DRC Chassis, Drop Light, Indy Power Sports, Bob Hurley RV, Carrington Homes, Indy Custom Zone, CGCPA, Sport Check Marketing, number 57. This is Logan Seavey. Logan Seavey in the number 57, coming around in his opening lap. A little bit of burp of the throttle there. Goes 8th quick on his opening lap at a 12.357, 1.2357 seconds for Logan Seavey. A win last year, a second place finish in 2023 and 2022. He crossed an 18th. Comes around, quick time at a 12.027, 1.2027 seconds. Logan Seavey to the top of the boards here in Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. Eli Wilhelmus, the next driver out to the speedway. Driver the Jerry Eigner Construction, Traders Brewing Company, Spec DRC, Larry's Automotive, number 55. Look out, concrete. There it is. Goes to the cushion, finds the concrete over in turns 1 and 2. Keeps the car rolling. Gives her a little shake and a shimmy down the back straightway, and definitely looks like he has bent something on the right rear as that thing is weeble-wobbling all over the place, but he's going to go ahead and get this qualifying run in. But there it finally goes. Something going awry in a big way as you heard it suddenly rev up and then die out down the back straightaway, but he does get one lap bend at a 14.882. Todd Hobson next onto the speedway out of Clyde, Victoria, Australia, driving the MBL Transport, Easy Print, Wingo Freeland Power, DRC Chassis, JST Stock Technologies, Ride Supply, Innovative Slots, Local Print Shop, number 77. Making the A-Main 1 year ago here at Circle City, ran 16th in the feature event. Going to Victory Lane back in June in weekly competition up at Paragon. 2 Sprint Week starts so far this season, still in search of an A-Main start here in Sprint Week, and 11th at Indianapolis, and a 6th place run at Kokomo in the semi. Goes 15 quick on his opening lap at a 12.866, 128.66 seconds for Todd Hobson. Lap number 2, a 12.675, better 13th for Todd Hobson. Next driver onto the speedway, she comes to you out of Dillsboro, Indiana, driving the Southern Insurance, Spike Chassis, Heavy Duty Truck and Transmission Services, Parks Home Service, Industrial Hydraulics Incorporated, Next Gen Builders, Blood Lubricants, number 4K. This is Kayla Rell in the number 4K. 9th place 1 year ago in the Hoosier Tire C feature event here at Circle City Raceway. Comes around on her opening lap. See where she stops the clock. It is 16th at a 13.144, 13144 seconds for Kayla Rell on lap number 1. 20th last night up at Kokomo, and 18th in Lawrenceburg, and semi-feature competition in Lincoln Park, a 6th place run for the driver number 4K. Comes around lap number 2, better on time, not position, 13.087 for Kayla Rell, still 16th. Driver onto the speedway now comes to you out of Kansas, Illinois. Driving the SRI Indy Rider Spike Chassis Indy Race Parts Sons of the American Legion, Jeff Olson, number 34. Hits the throttle. It's Shane Connell. 2 wins on the season outside of USAC competition. Paragon with the Boss Series back in May, and Circle City here on June 3rd in weekly competition. Comes around on his opening lap, 16th at a 12.820. A little misstep that time through turns 3 and 4. Last year ran 3rd. Also had a show position finish back in 2023 here at Sprint Week competition. 2022 he crossed 7th, goes 13th quick on his second time around, a 12.508. Brandon Maddox out of Terre Haute, Indiana, out to the speedway. Driving the Maddox Heating and Cooling Pro Source, Gressman DRC, Hill Construction, Pure Max Racing, wall number 28. Circle City Speedway start last year in Sprint Week competition. Went 19th in the feature event. 17th in the semi last night up at Kokomo. Comes around lap number 1, 17th quick at a 12.878, 128.78 seconds for the driver of the number 28. 4 feature starts on the season for Brandon Maddox, still in search of a top 10 finish here as he comes around lap number 2, better 14th at a 12.642, 126.42 seconds for Brandon Maddox. Victory Lane last night for the driver to Allentown, Pennsylvania. Driver the East Snyder & Sons Recycling, Oshtuck, Rosa Corn Boulevard, Truck Repair, Apache Transport, Davis Brothers, rider DRC number 39. This is Briggs Danner in the number 39. 2 Sprint Week starts here at Circle City. Ran 5th 1 year ago and a 14th place finish back in 2023. Danner coming around on his opening lap, and he'll stop the clock 10th quick at a 12.434, 12434 seconds for Briggs Danner. Had to scratch after his heat race up at the dirt track of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He's run 2nd, 4th, and victory at Kokomo last night. Comes around, second time by, better on time, not position at 12.407 for Briggs Danner. Mitchell Moles onto the back straightaway now at a Raisin City, California. Driver the AME Electrical, Massive Valley Transportation, Stanton Spike, Kleinbolt, Underwood Motorsports, number 19 AZ. There is warm-up lap and now on the clock. 3-time starter here in Sprint Week competition. Ran 13th 1 year ago, a 22nd and a 23rd place finish to go along with that. Comes around lap number 1, a 12.124, 12124 seconds for Mitchell Moles, 3rd quick as he works onto the back straightaway. Last night was 4th up at the Kokomo Speedway. Can he improve here on lap number 2? And he does not. 12.157 to 12.124, 3rd quick for Mitchell Moles. Tony Helton out to the speedway in the 87. He's out of Spencer, Indiana, driving the Ace Corporation, AJ Felco Racing Engine, DRC chassis number 87. Last time we saw him in USAC competition back at the Honest Abe Roofing Lincoln Park Speedway, ran 18th in the semi-feature event. Still in search of an 8-feature start here in Sprint Week competition. A little bit of a weeble to the left and a wobble to the right there at the exit turn number 2 as he'll come around on his opening lap, and he will stop the clock at a 13.270, 21st quick for Tony Helton. Trying to get a little bit more speed here on lap number 2. Brings her off with a cushion onto the front straightaway. The Ace Corporation entry going to come around, and he'll improve by 1 spot to 12.890, 20th quick for Helton. Driver onto the speedway now. Comes to you out of Greenfield, Indiana. Driver of the Nye Racing, Cruiseman Driving School, AJ Felker Power, DRC Chassis, West Evans Motorsports, Impact number 97. This is Austin Nye. Austin Nye, the number 97. Another driver looking for an A-feature start here at Circle City in USAC competition. 12th last night in the Elliott's Custom Trailers of Cars semi-feature event. Made the cut up to Lawrenceburg with a 15th place run. Comes around lap number 1 with a 12.626, 1.2626 seconds for Austin Nye on his opening lap. Puts him 16th on the grid right now. Brings her low through turns 3 and 4. Looking for a little bit of speed onto the front straightaway. And he'll find a little bit more. 12.519. Second time by will be better on time. Not position. 16th for Austin Nye. Trey McGranahan out of Avon, Indiana. Driver of the Matchbox Meats, Freeland Power, DRC, Engine Ice High Performance Coolants, CP Carrillo, Rada Supply, Next Gen Landscaping, Carts for Kids, number 77S. 11th and last night's Elliott's Custom Trailers of Cars semi-feature event at Kokomo. He was 9th in the semi at Lincoln Park Speedway. Still looking to make his first A-feature start here in Sprint Week competition. Comes around 22nd quick at a 12.949, 1.2949 seconds for Trey McGranahan on his opening lap. The former Butler Speedway 410 champion going to work around here on lap number 2. And he'll improve 17th at a 12.618. 12.618 for McGranahan. Chance Crum onto the speedway now, and it's Snohomish, Washington. Driving the Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, FG3 Power, DRC Pit Logic, Elevate Race Media, Elliott's Custom Trailers of Cars, CSI Z-Max, Crum Family Racing, number 83C. One career Sprint Week start here at Circle City. Last year, he ran 15th in the feature event. Third Sprint Week start of the week here. Comes around 20th quick at a 12.739, 1.2739 seconds for Chance Crum in his opening lap. Semi-feature appearances at the dirt track of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway as well as Honest Abe Roof and Lincoln Park Speedway. A 12th and 10th place run respectively comes around. Lap number 2 will be slower, 12.930 at 12.739. Lap number 1 for Chance Crum puts him 20th. Driver from right down the road in Columbus, Indiana. Driver of the Midwest Tube Mills, Davis Brothers, Stanton Flea RC, S&C Machine, Chrome Dome, Superior Ag, AM Transport. The gear starts down number 5G. This is Gunnar Setzer. Gunnar Setzer in the number 5G. One start here at Circle City outside of Sprint Week competition. In fact, it was during the Circle City 30 in 2024. He ran 12th in the feature event. Comes around 8th quick on his opening lap at a 12.328, 1.2328 seconds for Gunnar Setzer. 9th place finish last night up the Kokomo Speedway. Brings it around lap number 2. A little bit slower, a 12.422, a 12.328 on his opening lap. Travis Miller out to the Speedway at Victoria, Australia. Driver the GT, HVAC and Electric, Miller Power, DRC Chassis, Advanced Living Solutions, King Fiberglass, Midwest Imports, DNF Racing Products, Upright Enterprises, number 93 AU. Coming around here on his opening lap of qualifying, and he'll stop the clock 20th quick at a 12.651, 12.651 seconds for the 93. Still looking to make it into a feature event here during the Indiana Sprint Week competition. Last night, 7th in the semi up at Kokomo. Comes around. Lap number 2 will be slower, 12.711, a 12.651 in his opening circuit. That's 20th quick for Travis Miller. Driver that made his Sprint Week debut last night out of Kokomo, Indiana. Driver the Misfits Towing and Recovery, John Bates Septic Services, Griffith Powered, EMI, J&D Excavating, Doodle Country number 81. This is Cole Kirkman. Cole Kirkman and the number 81. A dozen wins on the season in micro competition. 10th last night in the Elliott's Custom Trailers of Cars semi-feature event. Working his opening lap onto the high side of the speedway, working around and wave of the white flag. Kirkman, lap number 1, going to go 18th fastest at a 12.602. 1.2602 seconds. Hangs the Hoosiers to the midpoint at turns 1 and 2 and fires off onto the back straightaway. High side running around to the front straightway here for the Misfits number 81 and 13th on lap number 2 at a 12.446. 1.2446 seconds for Cole Kirkman. Hayden Reinbold next out to the Speedway out of Gilbert, Arizona. Driver the AME Electrical, Levante Windows and Doors, Indy Race Parts, Reinbold Underwood Motorsports, Stanton Powered Spike number 19. Reinbold coming around to start the clock. Looking to make a Sprint Week start here at Circle City. Did go to the A-Main back in the Circle City 30 last year, ran 16th in the feature event. First time around, a 12.521, 12521 seconds for Hayden Reinbold, 19th on the grid right now. 13th place finish last night at the Kokomo Speedway was 9th at Lawrenceburg and a 10th. And Honest Abe Roofing Lincoln Park Speedway, second time by, better, 9th quick at a 12.333 for Hayden Reinbold. Zach Pretorius out to the Speedway out of Yorktown, Indiana. Driver of the Yoke Motors, Pizza King, Claxton, DRC, G&G Oil Company, Hoosier Roots, number 9Z. Picked up a win in April here with the Midwest Thunder Series. Still looking for success in Victory Lane and USAC competition. 15th last night at Kokomo. Semi-feature appearance up at Lawrenceburg, and up and over the wall goes the 9Z. Second driver to clear the concrete here. So far, we had good night over on the concrete in turn number 2 during hot laps, and now Pretorius over the outside of turn number 4 here in Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. So the backup car coming down for Cale Drake. They will fire that car here onto the access road. And Zach is coming up out of the top of the car. Race fans, he is okay. Crew queuing up a replay here on the FloRacing broadcast. You can see it on the screen of the back straightaway. Went in, biked it up, set her down. And as we see time and time again, once it sets down, that's like hitting the button to launch. They'll slow the frame rate down, getting a look at it here. Gets the right rear up into the fluff. And man, oh man, I believe Drake with an update.
We've actually been able to catch up with Zach Pretorius just emerging from the 9Z. Glad to see you're all right. What happened down here in turns 3 and 4?
I'm really honestly don't really know. I saw Cale bike earlier. Getting in kind of high, so I kind of entered short and tried to slide to it, and I really don't know what happened. So
that's a tough break for Zach Pretorius, of course, a heat race winner last night and a 2-time winner here in his career at Circle City Raceway. But once again, the good news, he is up and out of that 9Z.
So they will get that car on the hook, take it back to the trailer. We'll see if he's able to make repairs and rejoin on the program here. Remember earlier in the season, up during the Sprintacular, slipped off of the back straightaway up at Honest Abe Roofing Lincoln Park Speedway, ended up finding the wall back there, and that did junk a car for him, so hopefully he'll be able to get that one pieced back together and continue on. So they are still chasing Logan Sevia. 12.027 is the Honest Abe Roofing quick qualifying time right now. Carson Garrett at 12.087. Mitchell Moles at 12.124, CJ Leary at 12.139, and Kevin Thomas Jr. fifth quick right now at a 12.199. Logan Calderwood, James Turnbull, Gunnar Setzer, Hayden Reinbold, and Rylan Gray currently make up the top 10. Crews will clear, and we're just about ready to fire the next car out to the Speedway. So into the final stages of qualifying. This will be the 32nd driver to attempt to take time. And he's out of Anaheim, California. Driver of the Inland Breaking Snake Enterprises, One Way DRC, Darty Motorsports, CK Enterprises, Doughboys LLC, Dirt Roots Digital, Fine Line Graphic, Apache Transport, Burris Racing, number 5T. This is Jake Swanson. Jake Swanson in the number 5T. Three-time Sprint Week starter here at Circle City. Ran 14th 1 year ago and 8th in 2022. And likewise, an 8th in 2023. Oh, by the way, started 5th in both of those occasions. Comes around 14th quick in his opening lap at 12.412. 12412 seconds for Jake Swanson. Last night, 11th place up at Kokomo. Comes around second time. Better, 12.249 for Jake Swanson. Trey Osborne out to the Speedway out of Columbus, Ohio, driving the Industrial Hydraulics Incorporated, Jeff Hill Trailer Cells, Kirchner Mopar Racing Engine, Triple X Chassis, Hidden Hoof Hollow Farms, of Beechwood Automotive, Larry Ebert owned number 6T. Still looking for a sprint week start here at Circle City. The Circle City 30 last year ran 20th in the feature event. Comes around 15 quick on his opening lap, a 12.431 limited schedule for Osborne and USAC competition. One feature start so far this season that came along with a top 10 finish. Comes around better, 13th quick on his second lap at a 12.372. Jay Stockin out to the racetrack now, driving to Fort Branch, Indiana, driving the Brown Brothers Excavating, Kistler DRC, Daywig Meats, Lucas Oil Center, Superior Tank and Trailer, S&C Machine, England Machine and Tool, Moose Racing, number 92. Comes around to start the clock, a three-time Circle City starter here in Sprint Week competition. 18th last year, had a 12th in 2023 and a fourth place run back in 2022. Third place finish last night up at Kokomo, comes around 17th at a 12.479, 1.2479 seconds for Chase Stockin, the 2020 Indiana Sprint Week champion, going to make his way around here on lap number 2. We'll see if he improves on time. He does, 13th at a 12.363. That's Chase Stockin in 92. He has led laps in every event in Sprint Week competition so far. To Rockland, California, driving the Suburban Subaru, Dean's Waterfront Services, Berks Western Telecom, Hinchman, Indy, 80 Gardner Roofing, Don on DRC number 12. Hits the madman, Robert Ballou. Robert Ballou at speed here on his first qualifying lap. 3 wins on the season. His most recent and first USAC score of the season. Back on July 25th at Honesty Roofing Lincoln Park Speedway. Comes around lap number 1 and turns a 12.278, 1.2278 seconds for Robert Ballou. That'll put him 8th on the grid right now as he makes his way through turns at 3 and 4. To the inside of 3, to the outside of 4. Ballou, second time by, 5th quick at a 12.187, 1.2187 seconds for Robert Ballou. Michael Clark onto the speedway now at Brazil, Indiana, driving the Freedom Roofing, Dave Pepperak powered Spike Chassis number 8 machine. Attempted Sprint Week competition up at Honest Abe Roofing Lincoln Park Speedway. Unfortunately, had to scratch out of that event early. Working on to the back straightaway here. Had an issue during hot laps. He had to exit the racetrack a little early. They were able to go back and address the issue on that car. Goes 33rd quick on his opening lap at a 13.134. 13.134 for Michael Clark. Working his second trip here. Brings her up into the cushion over to turns 3 and 4. Wheel stands her onto the front straightaway. And second time by will be a 12.837, 1.2837 seconds on his second lap. Better for Michael Clark. Onto the speedway now. He is your current USAC National Points leader at Princeton, Indiana. Driving the Avante Owners Doors Premier Recycling, Apache Transport, Stanton, Mach 1 Chassis, Petty Performance number 3P. This is Kyle Cummins. Kyle Cummins in the 3. Winner here in Sprint Week competition back in 2023. Ran 4th here 1 year ago. 5th place finish last night at Kokomo. Goes 3rd quick on his opening lap at a 12.123, 12.123 on lap number 1 for Kyle Cummins. 27 feature starts on the season with 7 wins and 20 top 5 finishes. Comes around second time by, a little bit slower, 12.279 to 12.123 for Cummins. Puts him 3rd on the grid. Next driver onto the speedway, we'll find Hunter Maddox driving the TJD Roofing and Exteriors, Cummings DRC, Megacorp Logistics. Auto credit, buy here, pay here. Tony Kim's Body Shop, Indiana Metals, number 24M. Through the warm-up lap and on the clock, over-rotates her just a little bit there in the middle of turn number 2. Gets it rolling back in the correct direction as they work onto the back straightaway. Brings her on to the near side of the racetrack. Hunter going to go 34th quick at a 12.974, 1.2974 seconds. Big wheel stand on the exit of turn number 2 as he works onto the back straightaway. Trying to find some more speed here second time around, and Maddox will find it, but will not improve on position. 12.915, 34th for the 24M. Braden Cromwell next to the speedway at Lone Jack, Missouri, driving the wholesale batteries. Interstate Electrical Supply, Level Up KC, Rick Horn Racing, Bull Snot Products, Elliott Guster Trailers and Cars, Rachel Cromwell owned number 4X. 23rd place finish last night at the Kokomo Speedway. His first 8-feature start of Indiana Sprint Week competition here this season. Semi-feature event at the Berg, Lincoln Park, and a C-Main at the dirt track in the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Goes 19th quick on his opening lap at a 12.414, 1.2414 seconds for Braden Cromwell. 9 feature starts on the season so far for Cromwell. Still looking for a top 10 finish this year. Comes around second time by at a 12.50. He'll stand on his opening lap at a 12.414. Gabriel Gilbert out to the speedway out of Greenwood, Indiana. Driver of the DRC Chevrolet Gilbert Racing number 10G. Last time on track. On a state roofing Lincoln Park Speedway, 11th place in your Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts semi-feature event. 12 years in go-karts prior to moving up into the sprint car ranks. Brings her off at turn number 4, a little sideways. Comes to the wave of the white flag at a 12.583. 12.584. My apologies. 12.584 for the driver of the number 10G. Comes around lap number 2. We'll see if he improves. And he does. 12.539. 26 for Gabriel Gilbert. Out of Martinsville, Indiana, the DRC, Trainer Chevrolet Powered, JTR number 9. This is Jim Tribby. Jim Tribby in the number 9. Scratching at a competition early at the Honest Abe Roofing Lincoln Park Speedway. Now set to give it a go here tonight. Works onto the back straightaway on the clock here. He'll be the 40th driver to come around and complete a qualifying time, and he will go 38th quick at a 13.384. 1.3384 seconds for the driver of the number 9 machine. Patiently into 3, lets it swing out a little towards the middle there at the exit to number 4. Lap number 2 for Tribby will be better. A 13.337 for the driver of the number 9. Next on to the racetrack at Phoenix, Arizona. Driver of the Benz Asphalt, Central Security and Communications, Kistler Triple X Chassis, the Blind Man, DT Oil Services, number 0G. This is Kyle Shipley. Kyle Shipley in the 0G. One career sprint week start here at Circle City. Last year ran 25th in the feature event. Picked up a local win up in Lincoln Park earlier this season in April. Comes around 27th quick on his opening lap at a 12.557. 1.2557 seconds for Kyle Shipley. 18th, make that 19th place run last night at Kokomo. He was 8th up at Lawrenceburg and a 23rd at Honest Abe Roofing Lincoln Park Speedway. Comes around second time by, slower, 12.607 to 12.557 for Shipley on his opening lap. Troy Carey, the next driver out to the speedway at Tillamore, New South Wales, Australia. Driving the Oss Valley Waste Services. Glitch Contracting, Davis Brothers, Supos, Claxon, Ripper Chassis, number 45 in. Last year was 10th in your Hoosier Tires C-Feature event. Last night, 16th in the Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts semi-feature event at Kokomo. Semi-feature up in Lawrenceburg and a 14th in the C-Main. And Lincoln Park Speedway comes around 38th quick at a 12.927. 1.2927 seconds for Troy Carey. Rolls off into turn 3, exit turn number 4. We'll see if he finds a little bit more speed here on lap number 2. He does, 32nd at a 12.734. And he'll give it another shot here. Kel Drake bringing the backup car out to the speedway at Collinsville, Oklahoma. The Pendleton Fars, Bennick Enterprises, Claxon DRC, riding with Frank and Marilyn Bennick, number 2B. He'll get one lap, cannot start any further than the lower 50% of the field if he should make it into tonight's feature event. 27 feature starts, 5 top 5s, and 17 top 10 finishes so far this season for the driver of the number 2B. Was 16th last night at Kokomo, comes around, and he'll go 29th at a 12.625. As that'll wrap up Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. 5th quick tonight was C.J. Leary. Mitchell Moles was 4th. Cal Cummins was 3rd. Carson Garrett was 2nd. And tonight's Honest Abe Roofing quick qualifier for the 6th time this season. Driver of the Mount Mechanical Contractor, Stanton DRC Drop Light, Indy Power Sports, Bob Hurley RV, number 57. Race fans, give him a hand, Logan Seavey. As he'll make his way up here to the base of the grandstands, he'll get a word with Christy Bemis.
So Logan CV picking up yet another Honest Abe Roofing Fast Qualifying Award during NOS Energy Drink Indiana Sprint Week, presented by Honest Abe Roofing, this time at Circle City Raceway, trying to defend that win from this racetrack last year, which is exactly what you did over at the Lawrenceburg Speedway. So you're on a pretty good trend of doing just that. But Logan, saw the car get away from you just a little bit on lap 1. How did you have to lock down for lap 2?
Yeah, I did. I got bent in there pretty hard, and I got in the gas, and it just yanked the front tires off the ground. And yeah, it's a place where we usually see it a lot slick early in the night, and everybody's cars are probably really tight to show up here. And yeah, threw us for a curveball, and this place is juiced up, and it's in great shape. So yeah, we freed up a ton before qualifying, and I was still yanking the front wheels off the ground. So yeah, just excited to get racing here. I love coming here. These guys do such a good job of my car to get me really good here, and we kind of found a package that works here, and then we show up today, and like I said, it's got a lot more water in it than it usually does, and we kind of just went back to what we do at most other tracks, and yeah, it worked out for us there. So hats off to all my guys with Abacus and Mountain Mechanical and all them guys. I know they're watching back at home, and yeah, shout out to Kevin Newton again for putting up all this money for us to come race for a little extra money and a little more incentive to go fast early in the night. So really, really cool for him to put up this much money, and yeah, hopefully we can get a few more and take some more of his money.
Well, if Logan, CV, and Abacus Racing feel like they're chasing setup tonight, I can't imagine what the rest of the teams feel like, as he's your defending winner of this race at this racetrack for NOS Energy Drink Indiana Sprint Week, presented by Honest Abe Roofing. He picks up yet another Honest Abe Roofing Fast Qualifier Award.
Indeed, thank you very much. Up next on the program should be your qualifying and hot lap sessions for your Vern's Concrete Modifieds. 18 drivers, correct?
Going to set this field with the Vern's Concrete Modifieds coming up. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, sir. As we get ready to rock this one out. Bring them on out. Got a couple new friends here haven't seen in a while. A couple brand new to the Circle City Raceway tonight. See who all comes up to have some fun with us here in this first batch. One of the new guys already. That's Aaron Orr out there on the track there from Columbia City. Out there at number 1. First time out to Circle City Raceway for Aaron. Going to be joined by an old buddy of mine from the Montpelier Speedway. That's going to be the number 65 machine of Todd Sherman. Been a regular over at Lima Land and Butler the last couple seasons. Number 20 of Michael Brewer out of North Vernon came to play. Dylan Woodling returns in the 3W. James Walters back in the 27C machine. 7-11, of course, is Jerry Bland Jr. Third in points right now coming into tonight's event. We do have a season-long championship chase for these Vern's Concrete Modifieds here at Circle City Raceway. Jared Deckard on hand in the 24 machine. Runs 10th in points. There's your points leader out on track heading to turn number 1. That's Jack Dawson the third. Just got done taking his dad's chief mechanic into the Naples Speedrome Hall of Fame there last weekend. Congratulations, Pete Harlow, and continuing that tradition here with the Dawsey family. Open these cats up with it, see what kind of laps we can get out of these guys. The first time these guys had a chance to be on the track all night long as they're going to open it up. Dawsey leading the points in the number 3 machine as we're coming into this weekend. The other number 3 we got out there is going to be Dylan Woodling. That's going to be the white one with the bright orange number 3 on the side for Dylan Woodling, right? Dawsey right now, fast gap 14, 354. Woodling's rounded down to top 3. There you go. Woodling takes the spot. Land takes the spot. Check is coming out on this first of 2 hot lap sessions. Dawsey in the JD3, first to be under the 14-second mark with a 13.980. Todd Sherman holds on. Number 65 ride is tops there. Second, I should say, 14.179. Aaron Orr on his debut has a nice little run there, 14.236 in the 1S machine. 1SE machine of Aaron Orr, followed by 711B of Jerry Bland Jr. Dylan Woodling's 3W. James Waters, number 27. Jared Decker's 24. Michael Brewer put in a 14-plus second lap there in the 20 ride. And Tyler Lowmiller still trying to find the speed there, 14.587 for that one. So fast time on that group is going to be Dawsey in the JD3. Group number 2 includes first time out this year for Clayton, Indiana's 83J machine, Jason Weintraub James Weintraub out on the backstretch. Dan Snyder makes his debut at LaFontaine in the number 75 in black. The 77. I believe that's going to be my 77K of Skylar Neri. No shame, no gain, as he's going to sit there, put what body he likes on that one. 6'3" is Grayson Pratt, just running second in points, coming out turn number 4. Good time out there. Of course, the living legend himself, Mike Michelle, is out there in the green and checkered. McDonald's number 97. 23 ride is 23Z out of Statesville, North Carolina, came traveling. That's Austin Self for the Circle City debut. And the 17 returning, Dylan Nussbaum down the backstretch in the blue and black 17 machine, coming in from Warsaw, Indiana. Also got my little buddy there, Joe Woodward, in his red number 7 ride out of Crawfordsville. Farmer Connersville, Indiana. Meaning to go to yellow, got a spinner puppy there. And then number 3, that's a 63 machine. Grayson Pratt. Pratt there, again, running second to Dossie right now in the Verns Concrete Championship chase. Loesch took a fast time with that one, 13.757. 13.757, Derek Loesch. Also top of the 14-second mark was Dylan Nussbaum, the 17 in, gave us a 13.942. So far, the 21 machine of Loesch and the 17 in of Nussbaum, the only other ones joining Dossie in the sub-14 range. Both those cats, I believe, form feature win. I know Loesch has. I believe Nussbaum picked one up a season or 2 back here with the modified division with us. Back to green we go. Try to wrap this session up. Get everybody their 2 laps. Turn out a couple extra grooves even as I'm making it happen. Loesch is going to stick with that 13.757 for the best time. Daryl Nussbaum, 13.923. Austin Self on his debut, 14.181. Going to have James Weintraub, number 83, gave us a 14.495. And my buddy Joe Woodward in the red number 7 out of Connersville, 14.749. Not a bad little run. Short and sweet, and make it quick there as we wrap that one up. Thank you, gentlemen, as we bring that head on into opening ceremonies and the rest of the shenanigans we're going to have here tonight. Appreciate you all coming out. Don't forget all the goodies there behind the main grandstand. Plenty of good stuff out there. Big crowd over at the USAC trailer. Also, don't forget my good friend of the Indy Screen Print and all the little guys as well. Give me a head on down. Get this show on the road. Pass it on down, Scotty King. Scott King.
You'll need the other mic.
Uh-oh.
Test. There you go. Hey, folks, welcome to Circle City. On a show of hands, how many times your first time being here? First time. Raise your hand. Thank you very much, folks. Thanks to everybody watching at home as well. Ladies and gentlemen, if I could get you to please rise. If you're unable to stand, we understand. Remove your hats. We're going to send it upstairs for tonight's invocation, followed by the national anthem sung by Miss Hannah Sexton.
If you would please bow your head with us tonight. Our Father in heaven, as you would look down upon us this evening, before we would go to you and ask of you, we would go to you and give thanks for you. Your glory, your grace, and above all your forgiveness, for we fall short of your ways, but you never fail to bring us back to your side and to your teachings for those who would ask for your forgiveness. And now, Lord, tonight we would ask of you that you would watch over the drivers who have gathered here tonight, that the fires, the competitive nature that drives them would remain as hot and bright as ever, but sportsmanship, fairness, friendship, these are the virtues that would prevail in that moment that could be tarnished by anger and regret. We ask not only that you watch over the drivers who would gather here tonight, but that you would watch over the crews, the drivers, the officials, all who have gathered on these grounds. And we give thanks we live in a country which we're able to do so freely from persecution. We ask all these things and give thanks in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Miss Hannah Sexton, let's go upstairs for some great racing action calling.
Race number 1 going to be able to make its way out to the speedway here. 10 times around, looking for 4 drivers to advance on directly into your feature event. Lineup for your opening heat race here for the USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship. Set to roll to the green like this on the pole at Greenwood, Indiana, the DRC Chevrolet number 10G. It's going to be Gabriel Gilbert. Outside of him, at Buckeye, Arizona, the MP Environmental. Central Arizona Speedway, Spider Crane, Indy Race Parts number 47. That'll be Charles Davis Jr. Next row from the inside, you'll find Trey Osborne out of Columbus, Ohio, the Industrial Hydraulics Incorporated, Larry Ebert-owned, Mopar XXX number 6T. And next to him, that is going to be Gunnar Setzer to Columbus, Indiana, the Midwest 2 Mill Stanton Flea RC, SNC Machine number 5. Fifth starter here in heat race number 1 is going to be Robert Ballou out of Rockland, California, the Suburban Subaru, Dean's Waterfront Services, Donna DRC number 12. And outside of him, tonight's Honest Abe Roofing quick qualifier, Logan Seavey in the Mount Mechanical Contractors, Drop Light, Bob Hurley RV, Carrington Homes number 57. The 93 AU, the driver coming to us out of Victoria, Australia, the GT HVAC and Electrical, Milla DRC number 93 AU, is going to be Travis Milla. And next to him, Cody Trammell. Trammell coming to us out of Bloomington, Indiana, the Ace Corporation, M&R DRC number 34T. Final starter set to be Jim Tribby to Martinsville, Indiana, the JTR Trainer DRC number 9. As that'll be your scheduled lineup again for Car IQ Heat Race number 1 of 5 tonight. So the cars will fire. I want to welcome, we got a group of Kiwis in the house here tonight, making the trip up here. There you are. We thought you were a little bit further down. Hope you're having a great time here at Circle City. From near and far, they have come to enjoy Indiana Sprint Week. As I believe Drake with an update before we get going.
Absolutely, I do, Brian. 2 scratches out of the program completely. Matt Goodnight, who went for that ride over the turn 2 wall in Dirt Draft Hot Laps, they have completely scratched. As a matter of fact, that hauler is completely loaded up, ready to go back home. Talked to Matt briefly. He's still saying he feels all right, but that tubing on the roll cage of that 39 machine is bent in too far, so they're not going to continue with their effort. Also talked to Zach Pretorius, who also flipped over the wall, but at the Turf 4 end of the speedway. They're still kind of assessing what all is torn up on that race car, including the frame on that number 9Z. So they're just going to call it a night early and assess the damage and see if they can continue on for the rest of Indiana Sprint Week.
Your Honest Abe Roofing Fast Qualifier. Logan Seavey going to roll from 6th in this one in Car IQ Heat Race number 1 here. And of course, picked up the heat race win last night. Had a pretty good start initially, but then red flag came out and Logan Seavey got moved up a row, which certainly made the path to the front easier.
It definitely did. We saw that a couple times in heat races last night where the drivers in those first 2 rows would have some issues, and ultimately the drivers that were starting further back were able to kind of pick their way forward a little bit quicker as we get ready to go into heat race competition. CV getting up into his proper starting spot here. Going side by side with the 12 of Robert Ballou, but it will be the 10G, Gabriel Gilbert. Bringing him down to the NOS Energy start can here. Exit turn number 4, Charles Davis alongside for the ride. Here we go. Car IQ Heat Race number 1 is underway. Charles Davis going to charge to the outside of that DRC MP Environmental number 47. Charging to the inside of him, though. Here comes Gunnar Setzer with a slide for the lead. 3 wide. Here comes Tall to the inside. Not able to get the bite he needs to get up to it. Charles Davis back to the lead for a moment. Gunnar Setzer's going to retake it onto the back straightaway.
Gunnar Setzer started in the 4th position, split the difference of Charles Davis Jr. and Trey Osborne on the front, or Gabriel Gilbert, I'm sorry, on the front. Contact on the front straightaway. That's the 12, the Madman of Robert Ballou, and the 6T of Trey Osborne.
So Ballou able to keep rolling and catching kind of the very end of that. He and the 6T coming together. Not sure how that started here. We'll get a look at the replay on FloRacing. And looked like Osborne may have been starting to go around a little bit there at the exit turn number 4. Ballou coming in and just catching the rear bumper here. You see the 6. Yeah, he was pretty sideways, but was actually starting to straighten out a little bit. But Robert, again, had that run. He's able to keep rolling. And looks like we will have an issue here as needing to get 2 drivers swapped here in the lineup, the 10 and the 93. So if you're wondering, well, the 12 kept rolling. Why is he at the back? Again, 360 rule. Once you're about 180 to the field, yep, you're going to the back. He and the 6T both got to try to pick their way back up through the field. As Gunnar Setzer leads, Charles Davis Jr. can line up in 2nd. Logan Seavey can find himself in 3rd. The 10G, Gabriel Gilbert, your pole sitter, he has slipped back to 4th. Right now, he's in the final transfer spot into the feature event as we get back after it.
Gunnar Setzer back on the hammer, and as I was mentioning, he had a ton of speed on that initial start, split between the field between Charles Davis Jr. and Gabriel Gilbert, who now runs in that 4th position, so he's rounding out the transfer spots.
Looking to see who can maybe get up a challenge for that one. Ballou trying to pick his way forward along with Trey Osborne. Both of those drivers working top side into 1. Osborne going to dip to the bottom of the exit turn number 2. Ballou's going to stick to the outside. Now goes to the bottom over in turns 3 and 4. Going to work on Milla here as the top 4 and a little bit of a breakaway, but Robert working that inside, going to go side by side with the 93 as up front Gunnar Setzer continues to lead in this one. Davis running in 2nd. It'll be CV running in 3rd, and here comes the Madman. Starting to charge in to see if he can challenge his way back into the feature.
Robert Ballou originally started in the 5th position, now back up to 5th and looking for one more. He wants this transfer spot. He qualified within that top 6 invert. So as long as he transfers through this heat race, he's got a shot at starting on the front row.
Looked like he was going to victory lane last night, but breaks Danner jumping to the outside of the racetrack in the final 2 laps and got the run he needed coming to the checkered flag. Ballou 2nd place last night at Kokomo. Now trying to avoid having to fight his way into the Elliott's Custom Trailers Kart semi-feature event as Gunnar Setzer has checked out in this one. Here comes Ballou to the inside, tries to get a run. Gilbert's going to cut him off there at the exit turn number 4.
So Robert Ballou giving Gabriel Gilbert a little bit of slack on that one, lets him come across the nose of the 12, and he's going to get a charge to the inside this time.
Not going to give an inch as they work off into turns 3 and 4. The 6T following right along, but he is just shy of moving on to this one. Osborne needing to get one more spot. He bobbles her a little bit there at the exit turn number 2, but the checker flag is out. Gunnar Setzer, winner in Car IQ Heat Race number 1. 2nd going to Charles Davis. 3rd to Logan Seavey, and Ballou is right there looking to take that spot away as well. He'll end up in 4th. So your winner, ladies and gentlemen, in Car IQ Heat Race number 1 comes to you out of Columbus, Indiana. Driver of the Midwest 2 Mill, Stanton, Flea, RC, SNC Machine, Chrome Dome, Superior Ag number 5G. Race fans, give him a hand. Gunnar Setzer. Charles Davis Jr. in 2nd, Logan Seavey in 3rd. Robert Ballou fights back to 4th and moves on into the feature event. Trey Osborne, the first driver on the outside looking in, going to the semi-feature event. Gabriel Gilbert, Travis Miller, Cody Trammell, and Jim Tribby ran at your field. Let's go down trackside.
Gunnar Setzer picks up his 6th heat race win on the 2025 season here in Car IQ Heat Race number 1. And Gunnar, those first 2 laps, they were awfully hectic there for you. Take me through that because you were weaving in and out of traffic trying to get to the front as quick as you could.
Yeah, honestly, I got a really good start, and I'm really happy with that. And I was lucky to able to rail a cushion there, and I saw it got really dirty after that caution. And, you know, I know Chuck was behind me. He's pretty good, and, you know, I just knew he had to be on the hammer. I don't know who was behind me at the end, but, yeah, we had a really good car thanks to Kent. DJ, Mike, Tim, Brian, and then MCM, Davis Brothers, and then Transport Superior Ag. Emsel, you know, I was really happy with that, and I'm glad we're able to get first and weave through traffic these past couple heat races.
Gunnar Setzer has been quietly having a good Indiana Sprint Week for a rookie season, too, I might add. He comes in tonight 8th in Indiana Sprint Week points.
K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 2 staging out to the Speedway 10 times around, looking for 4 more to move on into your feature event. On the pole at Phoenix, Arizona, driver the Benz Asphalt, Fritchie's Lawn Care and Landscaping, Kistler XXX0G. It's going to be Kyle Shipley next to him. Driver out of Loomis, California, driver the Simon Racing, Claxton DRC, Heitmeyer Concrete number 23S. That will be Max Adams. Third starting spot, Ricky Lewis out of Oxnard, California, the Superior Tank and Trailer, Physical Medicine Consultants, Basia Valley Transportation, number 41. And next to him is going to be Hayden Reinbold. He's out of Gilbert, Arizona, the AME Electrical, Stanton Spike, Reinbold, Unwood Motorsports, number 19. Kevin Thomas Jr. from 5th. He's out of Coleman, Alabama, driving the Inferno Armor, Majestic Electric, Stanton Mach 1 Chassis, Factory K, number 3. And outside of him, that's going to be Carson Garrett out of Littleton, Colorado, the Epperson Painting Incorporated, Sherwin-Williams, Speedway Power, DRC, number 2E. Todd Hobson out of Clyde, Victoria, Australia, the Easy Brand, NBL Transport, Wingo Freeland Power, DRC number 77 for the inside of row number 4. And outside of him, Michael Clark out of Brazil, Indiana, the Freedom Roofing, Dave Pepperack powered, number 8. Final starter here in K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 2 is that of Newburgh, Indiana, the Jerry Eigner Construction, Traders Brewing Company, Larry's Automotive, England Machine and Tool number 55. That is Eli Wilhelmus. As that'll be your starting lineup again for K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 2 with the USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship. Field is going to hustle around here to the Toyota Racing Development pace truck. Kyle Shipley in the 0G. On the pole this one, weekly winner at Lincoln Park back in April. A feature start last year, ended up 25th. Max Adams next to him here as we get ready to go to green. Past the NOS Energy start can, we're underway. Minus Eli Wilhelmus here on the start as they work off into turns at 1 and 2. Battle onto the back straightaway, advantage to the 0G for the race lead for the time being.
The front row of Max Adams and Kyle Shipley quickly breaking away from Ricky Lewis, who is now under pressure from both Kevin Thomas Jr. and Hayden Reinbold. Hayden Reinbold actually getting around him that time by.
3 wide, Ricky Lewis coming back after him as he goes back to 3rd, but Kevin Thomas Jr. is not done. The Inferno Armor number 3 going to put a spritz on the fire there in the 41, going to cool him off a little bit and drop him to 4th. The 3R going to move up into 3rd and now setting sights on Adams here as they work off into turns 3 and 4. The 19 is not done, though. He's coming after Ricky Lewis.
Kevin Thomas Jr. carrying a ton of momentum on the bottom side of the racetrack. He comfortably takes over 2nd as Max Adams gets a little bit sideways there in 3 and 4. That bottles up Ricky Lewis.
Lewis made contact with the bumper of the 23 as he started to go around. He got on the brakes, then got back on the gas and only found the 23. It corrected back up the racetrack. So a good bit of driving by Ricky to avoid potentially going over the right side tires of the number 23. But Adams holds on to the transfer spot right now. The 2E, the Epperson Painting entry of Carson Garrett trying to reel him in as Kyle Shipley leads with Kevin Thomas Jr. reeling the 0G in as they work off into turns 3 and 4.
So Ricky Lewis got in there just with a little bit more speed than Todd Hobson did, got into the rear bumper of the 77 of Hobson, got him turned around, which of course meant Michael Clark had nowhere to go.
And the 77, he was still in the throttle and started to lurch forward, and the 8 was there to say, I don't know where you're going, bud. Brought him to a stop. They'll roll him down the racetrack, get him pointed in the right direction. Kyle Shipley leading, but Kevin Thomas Jr. with an immense amount of speed here. has been able to reel him in. Started 5th, he runs 2nd. The 19 of Hayden Reinbold right now running in the 3rd spot. A replay here on the FloRacing broadcast. As just like you said, the 41 getting in, putting a tap to the back bumper, the 77. Hobson around, and the 8 collected.
It'll be interesting to see here if Kyle Shipley tries to defend that line that Kevin Thomas Jr. is running on the bottom side of the racetrack and protect that line, or if he's going to try to open himself up to getting past on the outside without knowing where the 3R is picking up most of his pace.
Kevin Thomas has been so good on the bottom. Really haven't seen him go up and test that high side and really make any passes yet, so it'll be interesting to see what they do on the restart. Like you said, the 77 able to refire. He'll drop to the tail end of the field. Unfortunately, the 8 of Clark, he will be done here in this heat race. A note on the program, the C feature has been cut from the lineup as we've had a few cars scratched, so we are back down into semi-feature territory. So again, there will not be a C main. So Kyle Shipley leading, Kevin Thomas Jr. lining up in 2nd, Hayden Reinbold in 3rd, Max Adams in 4th. Again, those 4 drivers right now sitting in transfer spots into the feature event. Carson Garrett had a pretty good run starting to reel in the 23S. Now we'll see if he can utilize the restart and get up into a transfer spot. Ricky Lewis trying to find his way back into a transfer spot with Hobson running at your lineup. Past the NOS Energy start can, and the challenge for the lead immediately. Here comes the 3 of Kevin Thomas, the 0. Fighting to the outside. KTJ is going to take it into turn 3.
Shipley leaves the door open, and Kevin Thomas Jr. puts his foot in. He's your leader now of K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 2. Kyle Shipley back to 2nd. Carson Garrett working the top side of the racetrack, trying to make that advance on Max Adams for that transfer spot.
Was challenged by Ricky Lewis. Lewis coming after him again, off into turns 3 and 4. Both drivers going after the 23. High side running the 2E. He's into a transfer spot now. Carson Garrett up into 4th here. Ricky Lewis still sitting outside of the show as they work off into turns 3 and 4. Goes to work on Max Adams. Gets the left side tires up. Looked like a dog in a hydrant there for a second over in turn number 4. Gets it back down, keeps it rolling. But Kevin Thomas Jr., once he got to the race lead, rang the bell on the counter and checked out. And this one, as Mr. Bachhoven would say, they come around to the way with the white flag, 1 to go. Battle for the 2nd spot. 2E can look to the outside here. Garrett not able to get the run onto the back straightaway as they work into turns 3 and 4. Front straightaway flying for Kevin Thomas Jr. He will pick up the win here in K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 2. Kyle Shipley in 2nd, Carson Garrett in 3rd, and Hayden Reinbold ends up in the final transfer spot. Max Adams, Ricky Lewis, Todd Hobson, Michael Clark unofficially rounding out your field. But your winner, ladies and gentlemen, he comes to you to Coleman, Alabama, driving the Inferno Armor, Majestic Electric Factory Kane, Rock City Race number 3. Our race fans, give him a hand, Kevin Thomas Jr. Kyle Shipley in 2nd, Carson Garrett in 3rd, Hayden Reinbold in 4th, Max Adams in 5th, Ricky Lewis, Todd Hobson, and Michael Clark unofficially rounding out your field. Let's go trackside.
K1 Race Gear Heat 2 winner for tonight is Kevin Thomas Jr., currently sitting 3rd in Indiana Sprint Week points. Now, KT, take me through that last restart and getting ahead of Kyle Shipley.
Well, I know the track was getting pretty bottom dominant there, and on the restarts it's a little hard to judge because you don't have as much speed getting into one, and now I knew if I just got it turned that I would be able to make that corner and turn around that bottom infield tire. So, got a little bit of contact there, but I think he got like a little free crossed up, and I was just there. But we needed to win that heat race, and that saved us. With 5 heat races, that can really set you back if you qualify right there in that 7th or 8th spot. So we at least will be able to start where we qualified and then work our way to the front.
This heat race will add on points to his current standings in the Indiana Sprint Week win. That is your K1 Race Gear Heat winner, Kevin Thomas Jr.
Thank you very much. USACgear.com Heat Race number 3, making its way out to the Speedway. Trey McGranahan and the Matchbox Meeks Freeland Powered DRC Engine Ice High Performance Coolants number 77S slated to go from the pole of this one. Outside of him, Nate Shank out of Santa Rosa, California. The Joe Hunt Magnetos, Lawson Rock and Oil, Air Technology West number 1, going to line up in 2nd. 3rd starting spot out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. The Schneider & Sons Recycling. Ryder DRC Davis Brothers number 39 is going to be Briggs Danner. And next to him, you'll find Rylan Gray out of Greenfield, Indiana. The Unified Group Services Claxton Slinkard Motorsports number 96. 5th starting spot, Logan Calderwood at Goodyear, Arizona. The MP Environmental, Rex's Tattoo and Massage Parlor. Chuck Dieswieners, JFM Shurcan number 6. And to his right, that is set to be your current USAC National Points leader, Kyle Cummins out of Princeton, Indiana. The Avante Windows Door, Stanton Machwood Chassis, Petty Performance Racing, number 3P. Final row from the inside at Teelamore, New South Wales, Australia. Driver the Davis Brothers, Supas, Claxton, Ripper, number 45 in. That will be Troy Carey. And your final starter, set to be Tony Helton out of Spencer, Indiana. The Ace Corporation, Felker Racing Engine, DRC Chassis, number 87. That'll be your scheduled lineup again for USACgear.com Heat Race number 3. You can shop there, but you can also pick up those T-shirts right down at the merchandise trailer. Again, if you missed it earlier, new stock of our Indiana Sprint Week shirts have arrived, and they are available.
Well, man, they sold out so fast.
So we need to sell them out again. Keep Brooklyn busy. We don't want her bored at all.
Your Evansville USAC National Sprint Car points leader Kyle Cummins rolling off from 6th in this one. So far, by his standards, a pretty lackluster Indiana Sprint Week, but he's got numerous wins here at Circle City Raceway, so a racetrack that's particularly good for him and his team.
Sprint Week win in 2023. Last year, a 4th place run here for the driver number 3P. Looking at his finishes, like you said, 15th at the dirt track of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, 26th at Lincoln Park Speedway, 10th at Lawrenceburg after he ended up getting involved with the crash that ultimately ended the week for Justin Grant. Fought back to a 10th place finish, but a 5th last night at Kokomo. Good speed, good momentum, and that's a track he's notoriously good at. And, of course, we're getting ready to go into a couple tracks he's likewise very, very good at.
And trending in the right direction, just in the nick of time.
So set to go to green here. McGranahan out of the wing ranks and into the non-wing. Brings it around to the NOS Energy start can. We're on the way. Going to take off with the lead onto the back straightaway. Briggs Danner going to chase as they work off into turns 3 and 4. Nate Shank to the outside trying to hold on to that second spot. Maybe get up into the lead. Here comes Danner in 39. Couldn't get there. Shank going to hold on to second. McGranahan leading your opening lap.
And just like Kevin Thomas Jr. was, Briggs Danner rotating so beautifully on the bottom side of the racetrack. He picks off Nate Shank for second and now comes after McGranahan for the lead. Doesn't quite get there and really still has that company out of the one.
Trey keeping the left sides far enough down that it doesn't allow the 39 to really rotate and get that run, so he's not able to get up next to him entering the turn and kind of force him off of that bottom line. Gets up next to him there at the exit turn 4, but again, the 77 with the better run off into turns 1 and 2 is keep an eye on Calderwood on that inside line. The 6 picking up into that 3rd spot. Driver on the outside looking in right now is going to be Cummins in the 3. He's going to go after Nate Shank now for the 4th spot. Shank going to fight back to the outside.
Kyle Cummins looking every which way. He's tried just about every line on the racetrack. And we saw Carson Garrett have a ton of speed on the top side of the racetrack as well. As here's your challenge for the lead out of Briggs Danner. He gets McGranahan out of the groove, and now he's your leader. Doing
exactly what he needed to do, getting up next to him on the entry of turn number 3. And that right there allowed him to get the run as the caution lights come on. The 87 orbiting the racetrack over in turn number 4. So that immediately draws the caution out. He'll drop to the tail end of the lineup. And we'll see how the field stacks up here with the call for that caution. I believe they were able to come around and get that lap completed minus your driver involved in the caution, so that should put Briggs Danner at the top of the field. So lineup is squared away. Danner leads. McGranahan in second. Calderwood, Nate Shank, those 4 drivers set to move on here. Kyle Cummins has been all over Nate Shank, but again, having to time and get to the inside and force the 1 out of that preferred groove.
Which is exactly what Briggs Danner just did to Trey McGranahan. So it can be done, and Kyle Cummins has a couple of different options here, especially on this restart. May have a better look at the top side of the racetrack as well.
Rylan Gray, Troy Carey, Tony Helton at the back of the field as the cause of the caution. Single file past the NOS Energy start can. We get after it. 5 in, 5 to go, and just like that on the restart, here comes the Avante windows the doors over 3P, able to force the issue to the inside. Now going to jump to the top side of the racetrack as Rylan Gray's going to look to the inside of Nate Shank. They're side by side for second, 3 wide for the runner-up spot. Here comes Calderwood now up into silver.
Thought the 3P might have a run for second there, but got hung up on the cushion just a little bit in turns number 1 and 2. He might still have enough speed to get by Calderwood this time by.
Amazing how quickly the track can go from the bottom to the top, and again, able to work one of those 5 adjustments inside of the car. Not sure if the 3P maybe try to bring the setup in just a little bit more. Look out, we nearly have him parked over turns 3 and 4, and never mind, we do. Thought he was going to keep it rolling, but Rylan Gray does come to a stop over in turn number 4. Caution with 2 to go.
A couple of really good saves there between McGranahan and Helton, who both got somewhat sideways and were able to get it straightened back out and keep going.
They were about 90 degrees to the field. Like you said, they were able to keep things rolling. It looked like Rylan had it running, but then it dies on him over in turn number 4. So he will go ahead and refire and catch up to the field here. But Briggs Danner, Logan Calderwood, and Kyle Cummins, who had been really working the bottom, was able to take that line away from Shank to get the transfer spot, and then immediately jumps back to the top of the racetrack as it is chaos from second on back. So single file once again to the NOS Energy start can. 2 laps the distance. Danner, Calderwood, Cummins, Shank back into a transfer spot here as we go back to green. Quickly up to the top of the racetrack goes the 3, looking for second on Calderwood here as they work into turns 3 and 4. White flag coming this time. Cummins not content to finish in third. He's looking for the lead here as they make his way off into turns 1 and 2. Back straightaway, final time, and look at the run by your USAC National Points leader. He'll drop to the deck to protect the line into 3, and out of turn number 4, Cal Cummins picking up the heat race win. Brake Danner in second, Logan Calderwood and Nate Shank. Those 4 drivers moving on into your feature event. But your winner, ladies and gentlemen, 6th to 1st for the driver to Princeton, Indiana. Driver the Avante windows and doors, Premier Recycling, Apache Transport, Petty Performance number 3. P Race fans, give him a hand, Kyle Cummins. Danner in second, Calderwood in third, Shank in fourth, McGranahan in fifth, Rylan Gray, Tony Helton, and Troy Carey unofficially rounding out your field down trackside.
What a drive for your current USAC National Sprint Car Championship points leader. Kyle Cummins was struggling just to get into a transfer for most of that race. Kyle, that first run of the race, I think it's safe to say you couldn't really even get into a transfer spot. What changed there towards the end of the race that made you go from barely in a transfer spot to winning the heat race?
Just traffic. We had a good car. Just trying not to get into anyone's mess or whatever, and they were kind of too wide, and I couldn't do anything, and just kind of get a yellow, get everyone to kind of get single file again, and then just kind of work around them. But no, I had a really good car, and we didn't have to win that heat race, but I like Briggs, but you don't want him starting any closer to the front than he has to. So, you know, you get some points and get that heat race win, and Jerry Petty's here tonight, and we told him we're going to win, so we got to win.
Kyle's trying to keep that promise here tonight at Circle City Raceway. His 7th heat race win on the season, USACgear.com, heat race number 3.
Cookout heat race number 4. Simmering out to the speedway here. Driving to Collinsville, Oklahoma, the pole. This one, the Pendleton Farms, Bennick Enterprises, Claxton DRC number 2B, the Duke of Curls, Cale Drake going to go from the pole position. Shane Cottle next to him at Kansas, Illinois, the RSI of Indy. Sons of the American Legion, Indy Race Parts, Ryder, Spike Chassis number 34. Next row from the inside, Braden Cromwell at Lone Jack, Missouri, the Wholesale Batteries, Level Up KC, Chevrolet DRC number 4X. And from 4th, it'll be Harley Burns out of Brazil, Indiana, driver the Brit Aero, Timberland Lumber Company, D&J DRC Chassis number 16. Next row from the inside, it'll be Jake Swanson out of Anaheim, California, the Inland Rigging, Snake Enterprises, One-Way DRC Chassis number 5T. And next to him from 6, it'll be Mitchell Moles. He's out of Raisin City, California, the AME Electrical, Stanton Spike number 19 AZ. Final row from the inside, Chance Crum at Snohomish, Washington, the Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, FT3 DRC number 83C. And your final starter is set to be Hunter Maddox out of Bedford, Indiana, down to the Megacorp Logistics, Cummings Power DRC, Auto Credit Buy Here, Pay Here, Indiana Metals number 24M. As that'll be your scheduled lineup again for Cookout Heat Race number 4 with the USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship. One more to go after this one. And Cale Drake on the pole. Came out for his qualifying effort, hard into the wall. That ended up taking his primary car out of action, brings the backup car out. He's on the front row, but it's not all roses if he gets a heat race win.
Right, so because he had to go 1 lap at the end of qualifying, which means he served that penalty for having to relegate to the back of the field for going to a backup car. 1 lap at the end of qualifying means that no matter your time, no matter the heat race win or any of those factors, you can't start better than 50% of the field. So the best Cale Drake could start tonight, should he win this heat race, is 13th.
Real quick, let's check in with Drake.
That's a brand new race car for the 2B Racing Gang and Cale Drake. That car actually got that USAC Tech sticker after they went out for qualifying. So a brand new race car. The USAC officials conducted a quick tech test on that 2B, so it's good to go here for the heat races. Got that all-important USAC sticker on it.
Round of the NOS Energy Start Can, we're underway. Quickly, Cottle, you could have guessed that one. He may have started the outside, but he was going to drop to the deck and protect the bottom side. He'll come around to lead lap number 1, the 2B, going to fall to second. Upside moving. Here comes the 19 AZ of Mitchell Moles.
34, Shane Cottle, utilizing the bottom side of the racetrack where you can nearly always find him when we're here at Circle City Raceway. And somehow he always gets going forward faster than everybody else, but not as fast as Mitchell Moles on the top side of the racetrack.
Boy, he is absolutely moving. You can just see that car dig and launch at the exit turn number 4. Does at the exit turn number 2. Going after Shane Cottle for the lead. The throttle better put his foot down in it, but he's not going to hold off Mitchell Moles in the 19. Goes to the outside up into the race lead with 3 laps in.
Mitchell Moles rolling the top side of the racetrack. We can say hello to that line officially, as now we've got a 2-groove racetrack and a lot of good racing yet to come. Holding down that transfer spot right now is Harley Burns, who Cale Drake just got by.
Cale Drake, who had fallen back a little bit, back in that 3rd spot. Harley Burns going to run in 4th. On the outside looking in right now is the 5T of Jake Swanson. Ooh, Jake hard into the cushion. I thought that thing was going to come to a stop there for a second. Lost all kinds of ground to the 16. You've got Crum, Maddox, and Cromwell right now running out your running order. But up front from the 6th starting spot to the top of the boards, the 19 AZ, Mitchell Moles, leads the way. Battle for the transfer spot.
So Harley Burns sort of slid himself there in 3 and 4 as Cale Drake was coming across the top side of the racetrack. Little did he know he's actually going to slide the 2B, which allows Jake Swanson to sneak through, and he's now in that 4th spot.
So Swanson in that inland rigging, St. Enterprise number 5 up into the 4th position. The 2B going to get shuffled back to 5th. Caution, we got one coming to a stop here. That is Maddox in 24. The fans directly in front of us have found the souvenir rock that was tossed up at us. We're just glad this is plexiglass because that thing bounced off pretty hard. Are you guys okay? Is the question.
They say yes.
So Hunter Maddox able to refire. He will drop to the tail end of the field. Caution lights go dark. 3 to go. Mitchell Moles leads, Shane Cottle in 2nd, Harley Burns, Jake Swanson, they sit in transfer spots, and Cale Drake, who started up on the front row, slipped back to 5th here as we're underway.
So Cale Drake potentially still working out some of that bugs on that brand new race car, as it's not always perfect when you first jump into a brand new car, as one might think. So Jake Swanson kind of going to feel that pressure from the 2B on lap number 1 here as we come back from the caution.
Cottle going after the lead there on the restart. Wasn't able to get the run to the inside of Mitchell Moles as the 19 AZ again getting the rubber band wound up and running away as they come around this time to the wave of the white flag. 1 to go. Keep an eye on the transfer spot. Cale Drake trying to work the top side on the 5T of Jake Swanson here as they work off into turns 1 and 2. Has only a little bit of time to try to get the pass done as they work into turns 3 and 4. He'll try the bottom. Checker flag out in the meantime for Mitchell Moles. Shane Cottle in 2nd, Harley Burns, Jake Swanson. Those 4 drivers are going to move on into your feature event. So your winner, ladies and gentlemen, he comes here to Raisin City, California. What a drive for the AME Electrical Machine of Transportation. Stanton Spike number 19 AZ. Give him a hand, Mitchell Moles. Shane Cottle in 2nd, Harley Burns in 3rd, Jake Swanson in 4th, Cale Drake in 5th, Chance Crum in 6th, Braden Cromwell in 7th, and Hunter Maddox unofficially rounding out your field. Down to the front straightaway we go.
Your Cookout Heat 4 winner for tonight is Mitchell Moles. Now, Mitchell, a charge from 6th to 1st. What did you find working out there and kind of taking away to tonight's feature?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of figured everybody's going to try and fight for the bottom there. It looked, the last couple heat races have been pretty good down there, and luckily I kind of got to watch a little bit of that last one and watch Kyle go by all them guys on that last restart. So I figured that if they left the lane open, I'd use it, and worked out. Hopefully the weather holds off. It looks like it's going to get a little nasty at some point tonight, but hopefully it holds off till after we're done with our feature.
Your winner for the Cookout Heat Race 4, Mitchell Moles.
Car IQ Heat Race number 5 going to make its way out to the Speedway. Driving the pole, this one's from right down the road in Terre Haute. In the Maddox Heating and Cooling Gressman DRC Pro Source number 28 is going to be Brandon Maddox. Next to him, Austin Nye out of Greenfield, Indiana. The Nye Racing Cruiseman Driving School, AJ Felker powered. DRC number 97. Second row for the inside at a Kokomo, Cole Kirkman of the Misfits Towing and Recovery, Griffith EMI, Doodle Country, J&D Excavating number 81. And from the 4th starting spot, it will be the Moose Racing, Brown Brothers Excavating, Kistler DRC, Lucas Oil Center, Daybwig Meets number 92 at Fort Branch, Indiana. That'll be Chase Stockin. James Turnbull, he's out of Indio, California, driving the Barassas AC and Heating. Van Dyne DRC number 2J. He will go for the 5th starting spot. And from 6th in this one, it'll be the driver to Greenfield, Indiana, the Curb Records. Team Arizona, Kirby Gajanian Racing, Oak Craft Delegate Cabinetry number 21 AZ of CJ Leary. Final row inside line is going to be the 21K at Bonham, Texas. That's Kobe Simpson at the B-Town Automotive Entry. And your final starter, she comes to you out of Dillsboro, Indiana, driving the heavy-duty truck and transmission services. Industrial Hydraulics Incorporated, Blood Lubricants number 4K, that is Kayla Rell. As that'll be your scheduled lineup for Car IQ Heat Race number 5. Real quick in the pits, modifies. You need to be in staging.
Well, Brian, I don't have favorites, and if I did, I wouldn't tell you, or I wouldn't tell anybody else probably. But it really is exciting how much speed Chase Stockin and his 92 team have had so far this season. A couple years ago, Chase sort of took a step back from the Amsoil USAC National Sprint Car Tour as his kids started racing and things in his personal life got a little bit more busy. But the way that he's come back, had to take a little bit more time to pick some speed back up. But man, have they found a groove this year.
They really have. Part-time on the series, did make the run out to Pennsylvania. Not sure if we're going to see him make the run out to the Southwest, but 19 starts so far with 5 top 5s and a dozen top 10 finishes. And he mentioned Logan Seavey a little bit earlier. He's down at his souvenir trailer signing autographs.
Yep, signing shirts, babies, flags, whatever.
Autographs on cotton are free. If they go to skin, it's a $5 charge.
Depends on who you ask.
And if you're over 18, it has to get tattooed. No, we're kidding.
Are we?
Are we? That is the real question. So the 28, Brandon Maddox on the pole this one. Austin Nye next to him. Nye with a very explosive start to his Indiana Sprint Week. Grenaded the engine. I walked up and said, I don't think those are the windows you ordered. He goes, nope. As he put a hole in the side of the block on that thing, was able to get the backup engine installed and ready to go. Goes from the outside of run number 1. Kirkman, Stockin, Turnbull, Leary, Simpson, and Rell. Your lineup as it comes to the NOS Energy Start Can. We're underway. Maddox going to rotate the bottom. Nye going to bounce her off of the cushion. He's going to fall back to 4th, and here comes Stockin in the 92. Quickly going to make his way up to the top of the racetrack. We'll see what the Moose Racing entry can do around to the front straightaway, side by side for the race lead. Kirkman trying to take it away in 81.
Turnbull also working his way to the front of the racetrack. We got a yellow out for Kayla Rell.
Comes to a stop here at the exit of turn number 4. Madison Walker, you are tonight's Amsoil Inside the Oval winner. You and a guest get to ride in the pace truck for the start of tonight's feature event. Go down to the USAC merchandise trailer and check in with Brooklyn. Again, Madison Walker, you are tonight's Amsoil Inside the Oval winner. So again, Logan Seavey down to his merchandise trailer signing autographs. There was quite the field of fans going back and forth back there. A lot of activity around the NOS Energy sampling station. Can't make it through the night. They got NOS 0.
Yeah, and if you ever seen me walking around at the racetrack, you would think that I've had a steady supply of NOS Energy drink because I move very, very fast. And the amount of fans that have been down in the Midway today have made it very hard for me to move very, very fast, which is a really great problem to have.
That is a great problem to have if I could get caffeine intravenously. Lauren, can you please set that up? Single file to the NOS Energy Start Cam. We're back underway. The 28 holds on to the race lead. Cole Kirkman still running in that second spot. Stockin galloping the Moose Racer number 92 to the high side once again. Turnbull in the 2, trying to stay up in contention here. Started in the 5th position. Now looking for 4th from Austin Nye. Trying to avoid that semi-feature event. Got it on the back straightaway. The 92 in the meantime up into 2nd, but it's Maddox continuing to lead.
Chase Stockin now having the advantage over Brandon Maddox at the line, even if just by a hair. So now he moves to the top side of the racetrack and to try to carry that momentum and keep that position.
James Turnbull not content here to ride in that 4th spot. He's got to run for 3rd on Kirkman. On the outside looking in right now is going to be CJ Leary. Leary in the 21, going to vacate the bottom, go to the high side. Turnbull bounces her off of the cushion. Leary's there to capitalize, says thank you very much. Takes over that 4th spot, got one slow, but he keeps it rolling. Kobe Simpson gets back on the throttle. We avoid the caution as Leary moves up into 4th. Kirkman in 3rd. Maddox running in 2nd. We've got one around. Austin Nye going to bring the caution out.
So So interesting choice by James Turnbull. You saw him get into the cushion in turn number 2, which allowed the 21 AZ of CJ Leary to sneak by and steal that transfer position. Did it again on the next lap and still got a little bit upset. So interested to see whether or not he changes his approach in these coming laps.
Back to green. Stocking with 5 in and 5 to go. Maddox holds on to that second spot. Leary, though, like a shot to the high side of the speedway, going to take over third. Looking for second here as they come around to the front straightaway. And just like that, CJ Leary quickly up into that second spot. Drops down to the bottom of turns 1 and 2. Protects the line, and he is coming after Chase Stocking now.
Chase Stocking has company out of the 21 AZ of CJ Leary, who moves to the bottom side of the racetrack, trying to get that slide jump up across the 92. Doesn't quite get it done this time.
CJ Leary from 6th to 2nd, now looking for first. The 92 charging back to the outside. Stocking so far able to fend off the charge of the curb Agajanian, number 21, but the advantage will be to CJ Leary. Leary up into the race lead, Stocking in second. Those two drivers on a breakaway right now. It'll be Maddox back in third with Cole Kirkman right now holding on to the final transfer spot. Kayla Rail, who had come to a stop and brought the caution out earlier, she is there trying to battle her way back in and put it in the show. White flag is out though, and they're in the final 2 turns in this one. Checkered flag at a drop, and CJ Leary 6th to 1st here in Car Q, heat race number 5. Close call. Battling for that transfer spot. Cole Kirkman holds on to it. As he'll roll down onto the front straightaway. Race fans, your winner in Car Q heat race number 5 comes to you at Greenfield, Indiana. Driver of the curb records, Kodiak Products, one-way DRC number 21 AZ. Race fans, give him a hand. CJ Leary. Chase Stocking, Brandon Maddox, Cole Kirkman, those 4 drivers on into the feature event. James Turnbull, Kayla Rail, Austin Nye, and Kobe Simpson running at your field. Let's go trackside.
Your 2019 Indiana Sprint Week champion CJ Leary getting the job done, and he's also locked himself onto the front row for a nice 30-lap feature event. And CJ, it just seemed like those last couple laps, the 21 AZ came to life there. What changed there towards the end of that race that allowed you to not only get towards the front but challenge for the win there?
Yeah, we just needed to get kind of spread out there. Some of the guys were really indecisive where they wanted to be, and once we got an open track, our car was really good. I think Mike and Eric and Wendy, just all the guys at the 21 AZ camp that has been putting in the hours this week. It's been a grueling week, and we haven't had quite the results we wanted, but we've been getting better and better each night. So super happy with our race car. The track's shaping up to be pretty sweet. So starting on the front row, it's our race to lose.
CJ Leary looking for his first USAC National Sprint Car win of the season here on night number 5 of NOS Energy Drink Indiana Sprint Week presented by Honest Abe Roofing. He's your winner in Car IQ Heat Race number 5.
Thank you very much. Modifieds next on the program, their first of 2 heat races.
Modifieds, make your way out to the track. Heat 1 coming up. See, I think I got something here for our... Get ready to have a little fun with the Modifieds. Up next, heat races. 10 laps each. Left turns only, if you would, pretty please. Hey, we've got a busy schedule here at Circle City Raceway as long as Mother Nature cooperates. Next week, Friday and Saturday night, we got horsepower on the track here next Friday night, but that's going to be horses on Saturday, as we're going to have all things rodeo action here on Saturday night. Friday night's going to be the Midwest Thunder 410 Sprinters, the Modifieds, Crown Vics, Grub Getters, SCDRA Hornets, and the Sprint Carts all in action. Come on out and have some fun with us. This heat race is going to have Jack